Well, there's my beautiful podcast, people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks, as always, for listening to the podcast. And, of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
All right, word. Today is the word because it's our ultimate F-off day for the work week. Welcome to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. We're out of here after today. We won't be coming back till Monday. We'll miss most of you. We love most of you. But we got to do what we got to do. Vacation days aren't going to use themselves. Old Cubby here's got an airplane to catch this morning, and that airplane is headed straight to a place called Boston, Massachusetts. Are you all set?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. I'm hardly bringing anything. It's just a couple of days.
Have you taken your vitamins and said your prayers?
I packed them. I'll say prayers when we're on the tarmac, that's for sure. A couple of those.
Are you the type of person to pack extra socks and underwear, like an egregious amount?
Nope.
That makes me nervous.
He's free-balling it the whole way.
Asked my wife, hey, how about we share a suitcase? That did not go over at all.
Oh, I bet not.
She wants her own, one or two. I reminded her we're going for about just a handful of nights, but we did not get a chance to share a suitcase.
Well,
we only have a couple things.
You're going for like 3 days, right?
Yeah, we're coming back Saturday.
Yeah, that's at least 9 outfit changes right there.
What?
I bring a lot of socks and underwears when I go out of town, Ashley, if that means anything to you.
Thank
Do you guys
that
have
makes
accidents?
me feel better.
Why do you guys bring so much?
Because I'm a big dumb animal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
I like to be prepared.
So
I anticipate,
more so than in a normal week. A normal
More
week,
so?
maybe you go through 7 pairs of underwear. So you bring more than one a day?
Oh,
Yep.
in a normal, no, not more than one a day.
Oh, then that's not packing extra.
No, where I'm going with this is if I'm out of town for 4 days, I'll probably bring 4 pair of underwear. And I know that doesn't make sense to you, but when I'm at home, I normally don't change my drawers every day.
Okay.
You following this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
But when I'm out of town, if I'm out of town for 4 days, I will pack as if I'm going to change them every day because I'm a big, dumb animal, and I anticipate bad things are going to happen one way or the other.
No, I just do the exact same. I do this. Whatever I'm doing here, I'll do there.
All right.
And I figure if there's an emergency, I'll buy a Red Sox hat.
Oh, speaking of that, now you're going to Boston to see the Twins play at Fenway Park. I've talked to a few people. They say, do not wear your Twins gear. They will beat your ass. Unmerciful in the street for that.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. I even said to the family, hey, I know we're all excited about the Twins.
Yeah.
This is why we're going. My mother-in-law's never been to Fenway, huge Twins fan, wanted to go. So we've said, no, all these years, we're finally going. Everybody wants to wear their Twins gear. And I thought, well, no, because I'm the guy that's going to get beat up, even if I don't wear the Twins gear. They're going to come after me.
Because you're the leader. You're the dad.
I'm the old guy.
You're the older guy. You've got your wife with you. You got a couple, 3 young people. You've got your mother-in-law with you.
And
They're
I'm only going to allow them to get beat up so much before I step in.
You have to step in.
Once they get knocked out, I got to step in.
It's man code, it's dad code, whatever, to step in. You're right. Odds are they are not going to physically attack your mother-in-law.
I've heard mixed, she could handle herself, but I've heard mixed views on this. Some people said, no, this isn't Boston. This isn't New York. This isn't Philly. You're going to be totally fine.
By the way, you bet your ass your mother-in-law can handle herself.
God dang it.
You asked a question a couple days ago when we first started talking about your trip to Boston. You said, is it okay if we wear our twin stuff or are we going to catch hell? And we all said, no, it's not a big deal. But I've talked to a couple of buddies who have been to Boston many times, and they've been to Fenway Park many times, and wherever the hell they play hockey, it used to be the Boston Garden. I don't know what they call it now. But anyway, they've been to Boston and been to ball games. And they said, do not wear your Twins gear. They will beat you unmerciful on the sidewalk out front the ballpark if you do that.
I thought the same thing.
So I would...
I'm gonna beg them not to wear it. Or I'll have to just open up the wallet and get seats somewhere else. I'll be sitting by myself. Because I am a coward.
You are not a coward.
I'm not interested in the crap.
You'll be...
I'm even wearing... So I'm wearing the same Viking shirt or sweatshirt.
Oh, they say for sure don't wear Viking stuff. They hate the Vikings over there.
Do they really?
Yes.
My God.
Yeah. So you were planning on wearing that to the baseball game?
No, just at least to Boston. I don't know. Because the game's not till Friday night.
They say you're better off wearing Yankee stuff. They really hate Midwesterners in Boston. You're better off wearing a full Babe Ruth outfit or something.
My experience in Boston with Boston sports fans and wearing Twins jerseys to Fenway is they're always excited to see Twins fans because they all say the same thing. Hey, Twins, thanks for David Ortiz. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, they need to get a new gimmick, if that's...
It's been a number of years since I've been to Boston, but my experiences there when I used to hang out there quite often in like the 2010s, it was always Ortiz chirps and stuff like that were pretty good-natured.
They'll beat your ass, Josh.
And Nick, do you think there's any truth to what this person texted in? They said it's because your buddies probably can't keep their mouths shut.
I'm sorry, what are we talking about?
So when they wear Twins gear and they go to Boston, part of the reason why they catch some crap
is
because
that
they
my
can't
pals
shut up?
can't keep their mouths shut.
Yeah.
It's possible. I got some heavy
I
drinking.
never considered that.
Heavy drinking bros that travel around and look at ball games, and yeah, they likely can't keep quiet. So no Vikings gear, no Twins gear. I would just be as, what's the word I'm looking for, neutral as possible.
Yeah.
Incognito.
Because you're right. They're going to come after you. You're the dad. You're the dude. I'll tell you, many years ago, there was a stretch of time. Is this place still there? Famous Dave's barbecue joint there in Uptown.
No, that's not there anymore.
Now, is it a Cowboy Jack's or something? Or
I don't think it's anything. It's vacant.
Okay. This is a long time ago. Every once in a while, I remember why now. My sister, take it easy, Josh. My sister and her best friend lived together in Uptown for many years, not far from that, whatever central Uptown is. I don't know. Is it Calhoun Square or something? Anyway, they didn't live far from there. And so we were very young people. And we would, get buzzed up and then walk from my sister's place to Main Party Central there in Uptown. And we would hit that Famous Dave's joint. I think I got the right name of the joint.
Yeah.
Famous Dave.
Big live music scene, too?
Yeah, live bands.
Yeah.
And one night, I walk out of there with just my sister and her friend. And it's, 2 o'clock in the morning. There's derelicts everywhere, hammered. 2 dudes come around the corner who have obviously just been in a vicious fist fight. We didn't see it. They came around. They're both just cut up like 30-year-old guys, just ripped. One of them is no longer wearing a shirt because it's been torn off of his body, and they're covered in blood. And they come around the corner. And my sister's friend, unaware of what was so obvious, that these 2 guys just got in vicious hand-to-hand combat somewhere in the neighborhood. My sister's friend goes, "Oh my God, put a shirt on." Right?
Oh, girl, why?
And they're still running hot from whatever just happened around the corner. They likely killed a couple of guys for all I know. They're still running hot, and they're like, "What'd you say, bitch?"
Oh, no.
Right? And my sister and me are now, because my sister's friend who made the smart-ass comment, now she kind of backpedals like, "Oh, God, what did I do?" My sister and I had to apologize for her, and the 2 guys were more concerned with fleeing the scene of the crime, thankfully, than anything else. So they moved on down the sidewalk, and I screamed at my sister's friend. I said, don't ever do that again. Who do you think they're going to pummel? You two ladies? No. They're going to beat the living hell out of me. I said, don't ever put me in that position again. But like I said, luckily these two goons, covered in somebody else's blood, were more concerned with escaping the scene than they were with killing another human being that evening.
My money would have been on your sister. She's pretty feisty. I bet she could win a fight.
Yeah, in those days she could. Now she's elderly. Stay neutral at the ball game, Josh.
That's my plan.
That's the advice my buddies gave me.
It's tough, though, because they're all, my entire family, huge Twins fans. We're season ticket holders, don't you know? Now, could I go to a game with one of those season tickets? No, because everybody else hogs them. But everyone, I know they're going to be super excited. I don't want to ruin the fun, but I don't want to come back in a stretcher.
Right. Don't let them get your ass kicked for you.
No, I'm going to be wearing an Ortiz jersey, but not a Twins one. That's for sure.
I made you a sign for the game.
Oh, let's see it.
I have it in my vehicle. I'll show you after the program is over. But I made you a sign for the game that you can hold up for everyone to see. Tell me what you think. The sign says, Bobby Orr was a hoe. And it's fluorescent green with black lettering. Everyone should be able to see it.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, our seats aren't good enough for that to get on TV, but maybe we get a cameraman that's panning the crowd.
Oh, you can see it from miles away. It clearly says, Bobby Orr was a hoe.
What about,
if you don't like that one, I have a backup.
Is it, say, I'm with stupid, and then an arrow that I can kind of spin to whoever I think is stupid?
My backup sign, if you don't like Bobby Orr was a hoe, my backup sign, also fluorescent green, black lettering. You can see it anywhere in the ballpark. It says, Larry Bird is a terrorist.
Oh, jeez. I could never say that about Mr. Bird.
Which one would you like to hold for the crowd there in Boston?
I don't want to hold either one. I don't want to be associated with those.
For Christ's sake. You're not going to be wearing any Twins gear.
I know, but I couldn't say bad things about those guys.
All right. Ooh. What if you meet a woman there and you fall in love? She might talk you into staying there.
I don't think that's going to happen.
What if you meet a woman in Boston and you fall in love?
There's no way I'd live in Boston. She'd have to move here if it was going to work.
Okay.
You could do long distance.
But I don't think my wife would go for it. I don't think she'd let me. I could ask.
Let you?
Well, I'd have to ask. We're married and whatnot.
Love is love, dude. There's no apologizing for love. There's no asking permission to fall in love.
What does love have to do with marriage? You're crazy, man. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not too worried about that.
I don't know. I got a feeling you're going to fall in love in Boston.
I don't know if I'll have time. It's a whirlwind trip, We're busy.
The tourist traps, you're hitting some of the tourists. You mentioned this, you're doing it.
Freedom Trail. Yeah. We're going to go on some duck boats, and then the game, and that's
where do you go in and out of? What do you duck boats like they have at Wisconsin Dells?
Yeah.
What body of water are you diving in and out of?
I don't know. The Atlantic? I have no clue. I honestly, I didn't come up with it. I was just told this is what we're going to do.
Duck boats,
It's probably a pond
in
somewhere.
Boston?
Yeah.
I thought it was just all concrete.
Wisconsin Dells is the only place I knew they had them.
Wisconsin Dells.
This is news to me.
Boy, I saw genitalia of all ages when I was...
all shapes and sizes, too.
Oh, it was just terrible. Grown people can't keep their trunks on, right, in the pool and on the water slide.
Yep.
Children can't keep their trunks on in the pool and in the water slide. It was just an all-ages genitalia show.
I remember 6th grade, my friend had a birthday party at a water park, and his older brother said, hey, hang out at the bottom of the water slide. You'll see a wardrobe malfunction.
Oh, it was nonstop.
We did see a couple.
It's nonstop.
Oh, a lot of camel toes were made that day, that's for sure. No, but I saw some slips, but no full-on tops coming off or anything like that.
Everything was slipping out when I was there. Jesus, criminy. I don't know what happened. And then I almost put some kid in a wheelchair because he jumped in front of me at the bottom of the water slide.
That's always my fear.
Oh, I saw that coming, too. I'm just on my back going about 300 miles an hour down something. It was fun. I enjoyed it for the most part. Kind of a pain in the ass, though, with those water slides. They need to build some elevators.
They do.
Seriously.
I only made it down the water slide 2 or 3 times because climbing the stairs about killed me. Mm-hmm. They need to build some elevators, escalators, whatever, to get you to the top. But I'm going about 3. I'm like John Force, in a funny car race. I'm going about 3:08 and just opened my eyes enough to see the finish line. Everyone had cleared out of the way like they're supposed to, but there's always one person that doesn't. Oh, I left my goggles in the, right?
Yep.
And some little kid dove in front of me right when I hit the finish line, and I just super kicked him in the jaw like Shawn Michaels on Ric Flair, sent him just sailing. And his parents are, oh my God. Well, I mean,
I'm a grown-ass man. I can't stop my forward momentum on a water slide.
What's he doing there?
The last thing I mouthed to this kid, I mouthed this to him. I said, I'm sorry, I love you. And then I super kicked him in the jaw, just like Shawn Michaels on Ric Flair. Ambulances are circling the place. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm going 3:08 down the track like John Force against Cruz Pedregon at Brainerd.
You mentioned John Force a couple times there. His daughter, Brittany Force, just set a new NHRA drag racing speed record. 341 miles an hour.
I saw that. It's crazy.
Awesome.
Nick can nearly get that fast on a water slide.
Yeah, every couple of years they break the record there. Faster and faster and faster they go.
Was that the Force? Is that the daughter we talked to, Brittany?
I can't remember.
I was trying to remember.
Courtney, Brittany, Whitney, Bitney.
Yeah, I don't think it was any of those other ones.
There's all right. Well, we're all excited for you.
Yeah, I hope you have fun, Josh.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest travel guy. I wish I could get more excited for stuff like that. I'm a little more excited for the colonoscopy I have coming up in 4 weeks and 1 day than traveling, but everybody else is excited, and that's a little contagious.
Well, I know you're very food motivated, or at least looking forward to the food out there.
He doesn't like seafood.
I'm not a seafood guy.
Yeah, they got other stuff, though.
Yeah, well, people say avoid the cream pies. A lot of cream pie jokes coming.
Sure.
I hate that term, by the way.
That's the worst term ever.
That term disgusts me.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I don't like that one.
Oh, I get it. Boston cream pies.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that in
I'm looking
years.
forward to Boston Market. I love Boston Market.
Swing by a
Comfort
Boston
food.
Market while you're there. Yeah.
I'm going to ask every masshole where a Boston Market is.
Yeah.
Boy, I used to hit up the Boston Market quite a bit.
I love that place. I hadn't
too.
thought about the Boston cream pies in decades, but the other cream pies I think about maybe more often than I should.
Enough with the word.
You don't like that word?
No.
I hate it.
I'm a fan.
Yucky. I hate everything about it.
Yeah, we're excited for you, and also thank you.
For what now?
We get a couple days off.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I love it when your wife wants to travel, and then the rest of us get some days off.
Yeah, the other day when we were talking about it, I offered you any sexual favor you wanted. No questions asked. Won't turn anything down. We're that grateful.
Yeah, I'm keeping that in my back pocket.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it yet. But
Kind of like one of those break in case of emergency type things.
Exactly. P isn't funny. P is P. Jesus wants me to get one of those famous cheesesteaks they've got out there in Boston. Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying something like that.
Yeah, delicious.
Or the barbecue they're known for. Sure.
Barbecue, cheesesteaks. They love it.
I did go to Philadelphia for about 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
With the state radio station. We drove and were late to a Metallica concert. And we saw like 2 songs. It was really not worth the trip. But everyone, tried the cheesesteak. And it was the same as you get here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you saw 2 Metallica songs, and one of them was The Memory Remains, and the other was...
It was off the album, was it Lulu?
Yeah, the other one was that single they made with Lou Reed.
Yeah, Lou Reed.
Yeah. Of the 2 Metallica songs, of all the possibilities, you saw Memory Remains and something that they made with Lou Reed. That's just a terrible experience. I have another backup sign for you to hold up at the Twins Red Sox game there at Fenway Park.
What's that?
The sign just says, "The Departed sucked."
What about something about Tom Brady?
I hated The Departed.
Tom Brady kisses his kids on the mouth.
Right.
They can't get mad at you. You're just stating a fact.
What else is going on?
Oh, this is a good one. Wash my butt before my face, Jesus said. Try that jerk chicken that Boston is famous for. Yeah, I love jerk chicken.
See, I don't There's only so many food jokes that I can understand.
When we were in Jamaica, that was everybody talked to all jerk chicken. And they do it right there.
Yep. Very good.
I don't.
Chinese food best in the world. No, that's New York.
Yeah. Oh, man.
How about throwing a shrimp on the Barbie? Yeah. They're known for that.
Now, the last time you were on an airplane, there was a man on the wing of the plane, correct?
Oh, dude. Yeah, they made a documentary about it. A couple of them.
Nobody believed you.
No, they thought I was crazy.
But you saw him. You saw the man on the wing of the plane. It was a big scene.
There's a man on the wing, I said, and nobody listened to me.
That was a big scene. You made a hell of a scene. All right, later on this morning, as part of Josh's farewell show. Oh, it's Wednesday, so Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder will pop by. And we're planning on a special guest. I mean, he's a busy guy. If things happen and somehow he can't reach us over the telephone, I ain't going to be mad at him because I'm a big, big fan. Pretty cool when you want to talk a little hockey around here and you can get the greatest American-born hockey player of all time to call up and jaw-jack with you a little bit. We're planning on talking to Mike Modano later on this morning. And we can talk about the Pigs. We can talk about whatever the hell he wants to.
That'll be great.
It's Mike Modano.
It's Mike stinking Madano. What'd you say, Ashley?
So that'll be great. I'm pumped.
He's a wonderful guy. So we're planning on talking to Mikey Mo.
I'm pretty
along
sure.
with Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver. Terrible, heartbreaking finish to last night's hockey game.
Yeah, no good.
My gosh, I actually stayed up and watched it, and I turned to my fiance and I said, "This is why I don't watch. I usually just check the scores in the morning, then I don't have to feel all the pain that comes along with it."
Yeah, are you giving up?
No, I'm not giving up, but I did say that I was going to bed sad last night.
I know that feeling.
That is too bad.
Whenever I set my alarm.
Yeah, honestly.
Before I go to bed every night, when I set my alarm, I go to bed sad.
That's a good point. It's not that different from every other night.
Pigs lost in overtime. We'll tell you all about it later in case I didn't make it to the end of the game. Ashley, you might be the only one who... Madano might even be like, I don't know, I didn't see the end of the game, right?
I'm pretty sure it was Madano that dated the hottest girl at the grocery store I worked at when I was a young man.
That's what he was meant to do.
Yeah.
When he came to town in 1988, he was meant to do two things. Eventually become the greatest American-born player of all time and date all the hot chicks in town.
Everybody had talked about it at my work. And, at the time I was a kid, I'm trying to remember. I started when I was maybe 14. I was working there. And so I obviously wasn't there full-time or anything, but some of the older guys would be like, "Oh, Madonna." And at first I thought they were messing with me, but then I saw him there once. And so I don't know if that was true or not.
Ask him.
If that's, I don't want to ask him.
Ask him about the gal at the grocery store.
Oh, she was a 10 out of a 10.
Word?
Well, for a 14-year-old, so maybe for an adult, she would have been a 6 out of a 10.
Oh, God, she wasn't 14.
No, I was 14.
Oh, my God.
No, she was.
That scared the hell out of me.
She was a grown lady.
For a second there,
Even
I thought...
if she was 14. Oh, Madano, yeah.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought, well, we can't have this man on the radio now.
No. She was an adult.
You were 14.
I was 14.
And life.
Yeah. She was something else. The deli girl. Nobody will ever forget working with her.
The D in deli stood for dynamite, didn't it?
It did.
And the E stood for...
Erotic?
Yeah, erotic. I'm glad to hear you haven't given up, Ashley, despite last night's loss.
I have some hope.
Some people give up.
Oh, yeah.
No, you don't want to do that.
We've received some texts that have said as much.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Some people, they're jumping ship.
Up.
They're giving up.
They don't want the heartbreak.
Oh, they do, just throwing themselves off the bandwagon to avoid the heartbreak.
Some people think, like Winger, that we're headed for a heartbreak.
Oh. Yeah, some people give up. I have, speaking of Mike Modano, and I'm going to try my best, Josh. It's difficult for me when we get opportunities to talk to guys like Mike Modano. It's difficult for me to not just pound them into submission, asking them about the old days, My entire world revolves around the old days. So, of course, I just want to hold Mike Modano down and pump him about 1991, right?
I bet he likes that.
I don't know. Maybe he gets tired of that. See, I wonder if he gets tired of it.
Well, I think it's different than a musician where they're asked about the same song, or an actor who's asked about the same movie, and they've done movie after movie after movie. I think with an athlete, it's different.
Okay.
They like to relive those.
I'm going to try.
I know a guy that talks about 5 goals in one game quite often. He's
Right.
very proud of it.
Right. And he should be.
And I bet if somebody brought it up, he'd be happy to talk about that.
He should be proud of it because there's pretty much no one else on planet Earth who's ever achieved anything quite like that. So I'm going to try my best not to just molest Mike Modano about 1991, but on the topic of giving up, I will use this time to talk about that 91 North Stars team. Mike Madano, he's still sound asleep. He can't hear me. When that playoff began, the North Stars, of course, were the last of the 16 teams in the playoffs that year. They had the worst record of every team that qualified for the playoffs that year. So nobody gave them a chance, including my dad. So the first series against Chicago, my dad, they're not going to beat Chicago. What? Because I'm sitting in front of the TV going, oh, God, help us. Let's go. Oh, come on, Wrath. And my dad says, what are you getting wound up about? They got no chance to beat Chicago, right? Mm-hmm. And they did. Then they played the St. Louis Blues, and my dad said, St. Louis Blues with Brett Hull and Adam Oates? There's no way they're going to beat St. Louis. Why are you getting so excited? Then they beat St. Louis.
Suck it, Dad.
But he still wanted to give up. And I'll always remember, game 1 of a possible 7 games against the Edmonton Oilers in the conference finals. I'm sitting there with my dad watching game 1. And the Oilers scored, 7 or 8 minutes into the first period of game 1. And my dad got up off his chair, lit a cigarette, and said, well, they're done.
What the heck?
And that's when I blew my stack. I said, I don't want to watch the games with you anymore. They 1-0 in the first period of game 1, and he said, that's it.
What a buzzkill.
Yeah. And I said, you never even played hockey. You grew up milking cows. What do you know about hockey? We had a little problem there, me and the old man. So there you go. That'll be our star-studded 7:30 break. Randy Shaver and Mike Modano. Because Brad's not like a star.
No. Not even really sure why he's here.
All right. There you go. We ought to move on. You're a wonderful crowd. We appreciate you tuning in to Josh's farewell show. And we'll return with...
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like it either. It sounds like we're never going to see you again.
That's not even that.
We'll see you.
It's just a show.
It's farewell for now until Monday.
Yeah, I don't need to be the focus of this.
Why can't we?
This is a group effort here.
Why can't we just make this special?
Okay, if you want. It's nice knowing you.
The Josh's farewell show version of the stupid news will be coming up here in a few minutes on the Half-Ass Morning Show.
Idly ho, neighborinos.
93X.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
Well, there's my beautiful podcast, people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks, as always, for listening to the podcast. And, of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.
The Sean Ryan Show presents Peak Points. Get timeless inspiration from the very best of The Sean Ryan Show.
September 11th happens. What is the first thing that went through your head?
September 12th, I'm going back in the military.
Talk about being recruited by the cartel. How do you cope? Just learning how to find a new normal.
One of the most tragic events in American firefighter history. You know what comes after.
You have this beautiful life. You have these horrible experiences, yes, but you can do something with them for the greater good.
The Sean Ryan Show Peak Points. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Let me tell you something, Josh.
Yes, sir.
Received a text message from one of our listeners who says, today's their Friday, too.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, as we've mentioned a couple times, tomorrow and Friday can kiss our ass. We're out of here. We're just not coming in.
I like it when we're in sync.
Yeah. So today's our Friday. One of our listeners texted in to say, today is my Friday, too. I only work Monday through Wednesday every week. 3/12s.
3/12s?
3/12s.
Oh, I'd be cool with that.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, you could.
You could, too.
You're tougher than you think you are.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I guess I used to pull some 12-hour shifts when I was a server. But at the end of them, I just wanted to die a little bit.
When you throw in show prep and stuff, that's probably right there anyways.
Yeah, but I can do that on the couch. You know, that's a game changer.
That does make a difference. Versus staying here all day, back in the day.
Oh,
awful.
Yuck.
We used to sit here all day. Hey, Josh, help me out if I go sideways here. That little slogan that your cop pals always say, don't they say, we don't catch the smart ones?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
We don't catch the smart ones, the cops say. This effing numbskull, to fire up today's stupid news report. He did it all wrong. A man named Lucas Brown was caught escaping from jail in Colorado last week. And by damn, he was only on the loose for just a little longer than your average sitcom. He was only on the loose for 35 minutes before they caught him again. He didn't enjoy a lot of freedom there, did he?
No, that's barely any. I was trying to think, how long would I want to make it before I'd be, I wouldn't be embarrassed. If I could make it a day, I think that'd be pretty decent, especially with, how many ways you could get caught nowadays.
I think 1 or 2 days you could still walk proudly back into prison after they capture is how you say it, your ass. Lucas Brown escaped from a jail in Colorado. He was on the loose for 35 minutes. And get this now. Lucas was supposed to be released from jail just 2 days after his escape attempt.
I think he wanted to stay in jail, this guy. Because nobody's that dumb. Unless there was something going on in jail where he thought, I'm going to get shanked here. I got to go.
I didn't consider that. I would make a run for it in that situation that you described. So he was supposed to be released just 2 days after his escape attempt. And now after this effing gong show, nobody's cutting him loose for, I imagine, a long stretch of time. Here's the deal. Lucas was working as a, quote, kitchen trustee. He was cleaning up for the night in the kitchen last Thursday. He went outside to take out the trash, and he upped and ran like hell. Mm-hmm. And another wrinkle in the stupid Lucas Brown story, he was previously caught escaping from jail back in 2017. So he shouldn't have qualified to be in a, quote, trustee position with outdoor access in the first place. So the jail had effed up and gave him that cush gig despite his track record of being a total jagoff. He shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. Lucas was only serving a 90-day sentence. There's no word on how much extra time is being tacked on now due to his latest escape attempt, where he was a free man for 35 days. Hell, I've made number 2s that took longer than 35 minutes.
You should go to the doctor, actually, for that. If it was a week prior, I would think maybe he escaped to watch WrestleMania or something like that.
Sure.
That's where I thought, well, I can't wait 2 days. I'm going to miss one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year.
Think I want spoilers on that Cena Rhodes match? Come on.
WrestleMania, maybe. He had to get the hell out of there to see what was going on in the WWE. I don't know. Maybe you're right. The guy just can't live a normal life, and he was thinking to himself, okay, what can I do to have him put me back? I don't know.
Or maybe he's so clueless he didn't wait, I was how close to getting out of here? But I would think if you're in prison, you know exactly when you're getting out.
Most of them likely do. Got a calendar in their back pocket to know the exact date they're going to. I don't know. I can't
scratch the little lines in the walls.
Yeah. I can't put. How do I say this? I don't think I'm qualified to think like a mastermind criminal, so I don't know what makes these guys tick. Speaking of doing it all wrong now.
Oh, sorry, can I just get this is good text.
Oh, of course.
OG finisher Jesus said, sometimes lifers will stab and kill someone about to get released, so they don't get the freedom others want so badly.
Oh, God, that's so terrible.
That's a bit dark, but maybe there's something there.
That's the worst thing I've heard all morning. So some poor sucker's thinking, hey, I only got 2 days left.
Ouch! Ow!
So terrible.
Hey, bud, come on over here. We're throwing you a little getting out of jail party.
A get out of jail party? Yay! For me?
What's with all the pointy toothbrushes?
Jeez, OG cabinet finisher Jesus, text us something nice.
Yeah.
Okay?
A nice picture of a puppy or something.
I think you owe us something nice after that, because that's the darkest text message we've received all day long. Not that we don't appreciate your contribution, but I think you owe us a friendly, wonderful puppy text.
All right, he sent in the puppy text.
Did he?
Unfortunately, it's got tire tracks on it and what looks like an exploded watermelon at the head.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
He sent us a picture of a dead puppy now. That's it. Now we have to take the next couple of days off.
He didn't. I made that up. I don't want anybody thinking he's a psychopath or anything.
You owe us something nice.
Send Dana a D-pic.
Yeah, a couple of them.
All right, speaking of doing it all wrong, a dude in a place called Dublin, Ohio. He went ahead with a bank robbery, which almost never works, ever. It's incredible to me that it's the year of 20 and 25, and folks still take a crack at bank robbery.
I forget, was this an on or off-air conversation? We used to have an FBI profiler on. She was great, and we learned a lot from her. And she had mentioned with bank robberies, that's one of the dumbest crimes you can commit. Because we catch you every time, she said, and the money is just not worth it.
Yep, I don't remember exactly who it was, Cubby, but you're right.
Her first name was Pam, but I remember her being a great guest.
Pam.
Not that I was ever planning on robbing a bank, but I worked at 2 separate banks, and that was kind of, I don't know, a letdown to realize that...
It's not millions upon millions?
Nope, not at all. Especially in the teller's drawer, we have nothing. It's not worth it at all.
OG cabinet finisher Jesus has responded.
What did he say now?
He said, oh, come on! He didn't mean anything. He's just giving some info.
Yeah.
I'm on his side.
We know. We just want something nice. Where was this guy again? Dublin, Ohio, right. He went ahead with a bank robbery. So it went like this here. The dude, 69 years old already, by the name of Anthony. He handed a written note to the bank teller, and Anthony was then handed, in trade, an undisclosed amount of money. The teller told police that they didn't see a gun, so it must have been one hell of a convincing note that Anthony handed. But anyways, he walked out of the bank and he drove off in a rented Hyundai. And here's where things started to fall apart for Anthony. While he was in the middle of his getaway, he ran a red light. And apparently, they've got those traffic light cameras in Dublin, Ohio. So the cops were able to go back and watch the video. They saw the license plate on the rented Hyundai, clear as day, and the plate was registered to a car that was rented using Anthony's real telephone number. And the cops were also able to see that cell phone tracking records placed Anthony at the bank at the time of the robbery. So come on, did this guy put absolutely zero effort into this crime?
Yeah,
zero
he didn't
thought.
think it through.
Zero thought.
That can't be an impulse crime. You got to plan that out.
Right. I mean, come on, this is your life. You got to know the consequences of being caught for bank robbery but you made zero effort to try and conceal who you are? That's just laziness. We're just fat, lazy Americans now, aren't we?
Yep.
Our criminals don't even make an effort anymore, and that's a real shame. Jesse James was on the run for, 10 years? Billy the Kid, some say he was never caught. Yet our first criminal in today's Stupid News report made it only 35 minutes as a free man, and this latest asshat rented a car under his real name to rob a bank.
Billy the Kid always used fake names when he'd rent horses here and there. And he'd keep his cell phone off so the cops couldn't track him.
It's just a shame that more thought and effort isn't put into this. Back to Billy the Kid and his gang. Maybe some of you are wondering how they all ended up. Advices from Lincoln report that Jose Chavez y Chavez moved to California, where he changed his name and took work on a fruit ranch. Josiah Doc Skurlock is reported to have left the West for the East, taking with him a celestial bride, her mother, and 14 brothers and sisters. William H. Bonney, also known as Billy the Kid, continued to ride, never leaving New Mexico. He was caught in Fort Sumner by Sheriff Pat Garrett and killed. Sources report that he was unarmed and shot in the dark. He was buried with Charlie Bowdry at Old Fort Sumner. Advices report that sometime later, an identified person snuck into the graveyard and chiseled an inscription. The epitaph read only one word: pals.
I'm not your pal guy. I'm not your guy friend.
That was perfect.
You're welcome, Young Guns fans. That was for you. God, I got to read that last part again. Where is it? Did I crumple it up?
I don't know what you did with it.
He was buried with Charlie Bowdry at Old Fort Sumner. Advices report that sometime later, an unidentified person snuck into the graveyard and chiseled an inscription. The epitaph read only one word: pals. All right. I had to do it. I couldn't help it.
Oh, yeah, you have triggers.
I had to do it.
Isn't there a band called Epitaph?
I don't know.
Let's see. They're loud.
Now, some of the worst behavior my friends and I displayed back when we were young was when we were at the neighborhood go-kart track. And I'm sure we were not alone. For whatever reason, even after we started driving for real, we went to the go-kart track with one goal: to hurt as many innocent people as possible. You guys, did you have the same approach?
No, but I've only gone maybe 3 times in my entire life.
Yeah, same here. I didn't go much.
I went to Wisconsin Dells with a friend's family. I went with you when we saw our sales manager try and kill an intern.
Oh, wow.
And I went one other time.
Oh. We used to go to the go-kart track all the time, and we had, like I said, just one goal: to hurt as many innocent people as we could get our hands on. We did not care.
My goal is just beating my friends.
What the hell was that?
Dana just threw a banana at the cart behind him.
Oh. I guess maybe we were alone then. That was what we liked to do. Just bash into people's ankles, T-bone a few 8-year-old kids, at top speed.
No, ever since, I guess, as long as I've been able to go-karting, they would kick you out for that.
Yeah, we got kicked out too.
Oh, really?
But
Okay.
not before we hurt as many innocent people as possible. Here's a guy who he had life nailed, Josh. He has his own go-kart.
I've always wanted you. Whatever happened, you and I made it our goal one summer. We're going to buy go-karts.
We punk out.
We looked at them at the state fair. We never got one.
Yeah, I don't think you guys should get them now.
Oh, I think we should get them now.
Now
it's not going to go well.
We definitely need to get those.
We get excited. We talk a big game. We make a pact. We're going to go get go-karts. And then, something happens. We forget about it.
You're going to break something.
There was one year I really thought we were going to get them, and then for whatever reason we didn't.
Here's a guy. Life was just right in the palm of his hand. He's got his own go-kart. Doesn't have to go. to the local go-kart track to hurt people. He's got his own. I don't know anybody who has their own go-kart.
I know one guy.
Does he hurt people with it?
No.
Oh.
But he works at a power sports store. You know, they sell all that kind of stuff.
Is he a total hard-on?
You know, I've got a lot of friends that are that way. A lot of my friends are, and, you know, he qualifies.
This guy, he lives in the dumbest state. Delvin Thornton is his name. He's made it to 32 years old already. And I guess I should say he had life nailed. But from here on out, his life is very likely going to suck eggs. He's been arrested for allegedly hitting a 66-year-old woman with his go-kart and then just running her smooth over with it.
See, this is what I mean. You guys do not need go-karts.
Well, we're not going to take out old timers.
I don't know. I could see Nick taking out an old timer, Josh.
I would like to take out an old timer.
See?
You're over that stage of your life.
I would like to hit an old timer with my go-kart.
I see you more taking out kids.
Right in the ankles. Well, the kids, the olds, I don't care who it is, all ages, right in the ankles from the side when they're not looking. Just,
That would hurt so bad.
Yeah, it would hurt.
Oh, my God.
That's the point.
Yeah, they'd see me just cooking down the sidewalk. What the hell was that?
Now, a gentleman named Brandon said somebody was cruising around Burnsville yesterday in a go-kart.
Huh. Oh, I have a question. Is he a total hard-on? This guy allegedly hit a 66-year-old woman with his go-kart, and then he just ran her smooth over. He left the scene of the crime after knocking this old lady on her ass with his go-kart. The cops then found him hanging out at the local Red Rash Inn. I got one of those down the road from my place.
I've seen a few.
Yeah, he was arrested at the Red Rash Inn.
This little go-kart parked outside.
Yeah. A little blood and bone on it.
Go-kart parking.
Yeah, a little bike lock.
They found some bone fragments on the go-kart. Figured it was the... There's always something fun happening at the Red Rash Inn. Anyway, Delvin, last Wednesday, this is the whole story. He was driving his sweet go-kart around the neighborhood, got into some kind of an argument with this 66-year-old woman's. And in the middle of the argument, Delvin just stood on the gas pedal and rolled right over her. When the cops stopped by, this poor gal was all torn up. As a matter of fact, they said that several of her teeth had been broken off.
That's sad.
Delvin, of course, also had dope on him when the cops found him relaxing at the Red Rash Inn. So he's in jail.
You pick him up, you dropped him, Jesus. Thinks that you and I, Nick, should get hover rounds and visit the Grand Canyon.
I don't know what a hover round is.
Isn't that a mobility scooter?
Oh.
I think he wants us to fall in a deep crack.
I like those, too. I like those, too.
I've never tried one.
Oh, I have. When I had gout, I had to get around the supermarket and the hardware store on a mobility scooter, if that's the word. It said 3 wheels, 2 on the back, 1 in the front, big basket in the front. It's got a beeping noise when you back up.
Sure.
I like those, too. They're not as fast, obviously, but I'm good for whatever vehicle you want to go around town together, Josh, I'm in.
I want something with some speed, like one of those go-karts that are too dangerous.
Well, then we got to get go-karts. We got to put effing around. You can be all well-behaved on yours. I'm putting somebody in the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, I want a kickstand. I want reflective things in the wheels, a horn, turn signals. I want to be very safe with this thing.
Okay.
Hey, if anybody has a recommendation on a reasonable go-kart for a couple of guys too old for a go-kart, I'd love to hear about it.
As long as you guys wear helmets.
I'm not wearing a friggin' helmet. I'm not a child.
Josh, you'll wear a helmet.
No, he will not.
If it's a cool one.
You're not riding not with me with a helmet.
I also want a CB radio on mine.
Now that's cool. But please don't show up with a helmet on, Josh, when we're going to go go-karting.
Well, what if it's like a Viking helmet? What if it's a Darth Vader helmet?
No.
Cool.
That would be awesome.
We're doing bear skulls or nothing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over to my favorite neighborhood bar there on my go-kart. I'm just going to kind of lay in the weeds there in the parking lot. You know what I mean? Because with all those real cars around, they'll never be able to spot me just idling, right, in my go-kart. And I'm going to wait for my favorite old-timer that I know to come out and have a cigarette break, and then just, right into his calves. Just, Cigarette ends up his nose, it breaks a wrist, whatever. Nothing but laughs.
And then here comes Josh around the corner. He's got his little EMT bag. He's ready to patch him up.
You can be a police go-kart guy. Like, you come and arrest me. Little siren on top, right?
Sure.
Oh, that'd be cool.
After I attack an 81-year-old man with my golf cart at the YZ American Legion, you can come and apprehend me.
You know how fast you were going, son?
Yeah, we'll put on a whole show. Put on a whole show for the paramedics that have to show up.
We don't take too kindly to people like you around here, I might say to you.
And I'll go, damn, foiled again by Sheriff Cubby.
I'm just hiding behind a sign somewhere on the side of the road. Like Roscoe P. Coltrane.
You can kind of come off like Jeff Bridges' character in that movie. What was that movie called? The two good-looking one. It was one good-looking brother and one ugly brother that robbed banks, and Jeff Bridges came running after him.
It wasn't even that long ago that I watched it. Somebody will know. The all-knowing brother and sister.
They're in Texas. One brother's ugly, one brother's good-looking.
That's Chris Pine, right?
I don't know. I got the right guy, right? Jeff Bridges?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His dad was in Chips, Chris Pine's dad.
And he kind of had the same accent he did when he was in Rooster Cogburn. What was that movie called? I'm not moving on until someone texts us in that movie.
Now I got to Google it.
Good-looking
too lazy. I was hoping to.
Ugly brother, good-looking brother, Jeff Bridges. And Jeff Bridges acts the same way he did when he portrayed Rooster Cogburn. Hell or high water.
That's it. Chaska Jesus, you got it. Thank you.
All right. I'll make my go-kart a two-seater, Josh.
That's what I'd want, actually. Take a pal.
So sometimes you can just come with me.
I prefer that.
All right. Something very, very rare has happened. And I don't think any of us are going to fall down and touch ourselves over this because it certainly isn't the most exciting topic, but it is very, very rare. A husband and a wife in California were recently picked for the same jury.
Let's say you and your wife were picked for the same jury.
Yes.
Would you guys be on the same side, or do you think there'd be some pretty wicked arguments?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
Because I could see, as another juror, I would be a little worried about it, right? Like, oh, man, how's this going to go? If you see a husband and wife, is this going to be terrible?
Because a lot of husbands and wives have differing opinions just because they can.
Yeah. Whatever she says, I'm going the opposite.
Just because they've had enough of each other and they just can't see eye to eye on anything.
Yeah, we're going to be there arguing forever because these two can't get along.
I think that more often than not, she and I would agree. I think more often than not, we would agree.
And I think she has the ability to change your mind, where a lot of people might not.
She does.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, you and my wife, who are best girlfriends now.
And we are.
You both, not that the two of you finally met after all these years.
I've known her for decades.
You two are probably the only people on planet Earth that have the ability to change my mind. The only things that my wife and I generally argue about are me. I should say the only thing that my wife and I generally argue about is me.
Like your well-being? Or going to the doctor, kind of like taking care of yourself?
No, just I'm too loud and I walk too, my steps are too heavy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
If ever we argue, it's usually, she says, you make too many noises and
you imagine, like,
you smell bad and things like that.
You're giving your argument as to whether the person is innocent or guilty. Somebody interrupts you and your wife just says, hey, Loudfoot's trying to talk.
Yeah. That's her latest.
He's so loud anyways.
Right. Her latest are my footsteps are too loud in the house. It's just
I haven't noticed that.
I don't notice it either. But all right.
I'll have to pay attention.
I don't think me and my fiance would agree if we were on the same jury because he's a very logical thinker and I think with emotions.
Yeah, you
way too much.
I could see you looking at the person and going, yeah, that son of a bitch is guilty without even hearing what's going on.
He looks suspicious.
Ashley, that's the prosecutor?
Oh, he's guilty
by
too.
association.
Yeah.
Ashley gets emotion now. All right. So a husband and wife were recently picked for the same jury. Here's the arithmetic behind it. There are about 136,000 people in their county. About 106,000 of them are adults. A jury sends out a certain number of summons for each week, and only 12 are selected for each jury. The fact that this husband and wife were picked for the same jury only has about a 0.00001% chance of happening.
Wow. My mom would say that they should go buy a lottery ticket.
My mom uses that same one, Ashley.
Yeah, that's what parents say for stuff like that.
Josh, it's my vootsteps.
Your votes.
Vootsteps. That she has a problem with. So these two served on a drunk driving case. They were both cool with being on the jury, and the wife was actually excited because she'd never served before, and they say they'd do it again.
It's their new hobby.
If the situation.
Some people love it.
I don't get it. There have been very few situations in my life where I was more pissed off than when I was selected for jury duty. I hated every damn second of it. Luckily, I never got selected to be on an actual jury, but by damn did that suck rod. I wanted out immediately.
If I was a retired guy or something, I wouldn't mind doing it at all.
Especially if it's a cool case.
True.
Even if it wasn't a cool case, it's just kind of fascinating seeing how that works. Although I have noticed, have you guys ever watched like a court TV or something like that?
Not really, no.
It is so boring. It could be the most exciting case in the world, but they just bog you down with all these details and stuff. I don't want details. Just give me the Cliff Notes version. That's all I want.
Yeah, give me the juice.
One of my family members I guess I was present for their trial, and it was a long, drawn-out one, but it was really interesting, and I think it made me want to do jury duty because it was like a good one. Like one you would actually want to be at.
Let me ask you this, Ashley. They got a guy going up and down selling hot dogs, in between witnesses or anything?
No, but there was a Subway down the road, I guess. That's all you really got.
The only fun part was lunch.
Was it good?
Well, I mean, there were 7 or 8 different little shops in there to get whatever you wanted.
For free? Like, they just give it? Or do you...
I believe they would pay you back for lunch, yeah.
Oh, wait, like in the courthouse?
Yeah.
No way, what? Yeah. You went to a fancy courthouse.
Well, it was Minneapolis. Is that fancy enough for you?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
When
super
people
cool.
say Minneapolis, I think fancy is what comes to mind. I've got a text here from farts in my sleep and wakes myself up, Jesus.
Oh, heck yeah.
Jesus.
I did know Taylor Sheridan wrote Hell or High Water. I have to watch everything he puts out, any thought he has, so that's why I watched it, actually.
Who?
Taylor Sheridan, the guy behind many good shows.
Oh, right. I think you said a while back that you like his Operation. I think you said
Yellowstone would be his most famous.
All right, before we go, there was a winner in that disgusting first ever sperm race we talked about a few weeks ago.
This is so dumb.
Last week, I think it was, 2 college students raced their sperm in front of hundreds of people. They watched their sperm swim under a microscope. Thankfully, they didn't have to, make a batch right there at the track. They each
brought the starting line?
Yeah. They each brought in a bucket or something, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, is to determine a champion. One more time, UCLA on top, USC at the bottom. This is for all the marbles. Send the swimmers through the finish line. We might have a photo finish. This is going to do it. Tristan Milker explodes through the finish line. USC wins.
Shut it.
What?
There's no way that's his real name. Tristan Milker?
No, that's a stage name for sure.
Jeez.
That is insane to me.
I watched interviews with the 2 dudes, and you can imagine the type of guys they were.
Total hard-on?
Just tools.
Do you mean these guys?
This is basically the greatest event sport. This is thrash genetics. It doesn't matter how tall you are. It doesn't matter how muscular you are from birth. This just purely is based on your diet, based on your lifestyle, based on what you're doing for yourself, right? So I think the bragging rights are bigger than any sort of basketball or football or any other giant sport competition because this involves all of it.
How muscular you are from birth? Some babies just come out jacked.
I could bench press twice my weight when I came out.
Didn't hear a word that he said.
You're better off.
20-year-old kid by the name of Tristan Milker was the champion. He beat a 19-year-old kid. One of them was from USC. The other one, who cares? It's over. The race was live streamed, and it was disgusting, and it was offensive.
And people bet on it.
Hey, son. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Lots of money. Over $300,000. People
serious?
betting on
What?
this thing.
What is wrong with the world? What's going
People
on?
will bet on anything, it seems.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hydration station. Ball. Guess the foul should get cleaned out.
Ryan O'Hearn plays baseball for the Baltimore Orioles. Monday night, he hit a 3-run dong against the New York Yankees. He comes back to the dugout. Now, their gimmick in the dugout, the Baltimore Orioles, you know how, like, the Twins put what do you call that thing they put on their head, the Twins?
That Viking helmet?
Viking helmet of some sort on their head. Other teams put on a coat. Other teams do this and that. The Orioles have a home run hydration station. If I remember right, Josh, it's like a 3-pronged beer bong kind of a thing.
Yeah, the Homer hose, they call it.
Okay. Oh, I thought it was the home run hydration station, but they call it the Homer hose.
That's what I'd heard it called.
There's 3 different tubes, and you drink water out of it. Well, O'Hearn takes a bump off of that after he hits his home run, and then the cameras and the audio caught him saying, "Suck my effing testicles?"
Balls.
I love that. I love that energy.
I can say that?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Hydration station. Ball.
I love this guy.
And then he apologized afterwards to any children who were watching. He said, "There's a hot mic in the dugout. We say some things at times that maybe we don't want kids to hear. I just want to say I'm sorry for that," he said.
I want to hear more of that kind of stuff.
It was funny.
I wish they were always mic'd up.
The Twins got they got walked off in the 9th inning by the Cleveland Guardians last night. We'll tell you more about that later. Obviously, we'll tell you all about the heartbreaking loss for the Pigs last night in Las Vegas at 7:30. Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder will be here. And also we're expecting a visit from all-time great Mike Modano. If he wants to talk a little hockey with us, great. If he wants to talk about anything else, that's up to him as well. But now the boys are down 3-2, coming home for a game tomorrow night. Tonight's the big Timberwolves Game 5 in Los Angeles against the Lakers. So we got plenty more to cover. We'll take a break and come back with Josh's news report next.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Nice.
93X.
Nice.
Well, there's my beautiful podcast, people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks, as always, for listening to the podcast. And, of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.
Bravo TV star Lala Kent holds nothing back on the Give Them Lala podcast.
It's very a lot. You want the headline. Here is my interview with Vicky Gunvalson. Who did the biggest number on you?
I'm not friends with Tamara anymore, which is fine.
Do you feel like you guys can repair?
No.
Stick to what you know.
Iconic.
Absolutely fantastic. It is like the Super Bowl every episode.
Give Them Lala.
Unhinged, but also amazing TV.
Get ready.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Hey, wait a minute. You two look kind of familiar. Ain't you them kids that have been whacking off in my tool shed?
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Their peaceful protesting wasn't so peaceful. They're scaring kids here. They're scaring the whole family, their kids. 7 kids in this house.
At a vigil meant to honor cats killed by a, suspected serial cat killer in Santa Ana, California. Emotions boiled over, and attendees decided they're going to track the suspect down themselves, but they got the wrong house. The gathering. We're going to show this son of a gun. We're bringing you justice, bastard.
Guy's sitting in front of the TV watching the ball game, right? Next thing you know, there's an angry mob outside the door.
Yeah, but the other guy's going, wow, there's an angry mob going after that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he must have done something worse than me.
F me. Did they just beat this guy in the next week or what?
Yes.
Oh, no.
The gathering came just a week after police arrested 45-year-old Alejandro Acosta, who they say slaughtered dozens of cats in the neighborhood.
God dang.
For weeks, disturbing reports poured in about someone luring cats to a property and then brutally killing them.
That is wrong.
Detectives finally moved in last Wednesday, taking Acosta into custody on federal animal cruelty charges.
Police say officers obtained a search warrant for Acosta's home, and when they arrested Acosta, he made several incriminating statements. Police would not reveal other ways Acosta allegedly harmed the cats.
Then at Sunday's somber ceremony, the wrong family paid the price. Fueled by grief and anger, a crowd marched to what they believed was Acosta's brother's house, where they thought he might be hiding.
Okay.
Just across the street from Acosta's actual home. They surrounded the property, shouted for someone to come out, smashed windows, and then pepper sprayed and beat the bewildered, entirely innocent man inside.
Come on!
All while his terrified children watched from the window.
Oh. I was trying to announce it for the organizers just so that we could get peaceful, and I know we have some, people that are still upset.
Turns out the man wasn't related to Acosta at all. In a statement from law enforcement, the Santa Ana PD said, while we support the community's right to peacefully assemble, we will not tolerate acts of violence, vandalism, or threats to public safety.
We can't do this. We can't do this. That's terrible. So this guy's just tuned up to beat hell, maced. His kids are crying, watching through the friggin' window.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
It is kind of crazy when you think about all of the terrible people that do terrible things to human beings, and people don't go to these lengths. But as soon as they come for the cats, we're beating him in front of his kids.
Yeah, there's what's that documentary on Netflix, like Don't Mess with the Cat People or something?
Oh,
yeah, Don't Mess with Cats.
Yeah.
That's dark.
I heard it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, don't watch that.
What is this? Don't Mess with Cats is a documentary?
Yep. I believe it's about somebody, like this person online that was like torturing cats. I remember just seeing part of it, and it included that. And after that, I was like, nope, I don't feel like crying for hours.
This is what I remember of it. And please, 651-989-9393, if I'm misrepresenting what it was, let us know. I thought the gist was, like Ashley said, there's a guy torturing cats, right? And it makes it the internet. It's just some disgusting stuff.
What a tough guy.
Yeah, maybe a Canadian guy. I can't remember exactly.
Canadian?
But I think the show is about an online sleuthing community that figured out who he was.
That's right.
So I thought that's what the show is about. Hey, these online guys were able to find him.
What kind of sick vomit bag, virgin, wacko bastard runs around torturing little kiddies?
Well, he's somebody that should never be out of jail ever again.
Oh, my goodness. But they tore this poor guy up.
It wasn't the right guy. I mean, you think there'd be one person going, okay, I'm all about pepper spraying this bastard, but hey, somebody, who's got a picture of him on your phone? Crowds at a Connecticut beach carnival started running from the area due to an unlikely cause, a big fart. Fairfield police said a group of kids used a, quote, flatulence spray near the exit of the McKinley Carnival, causing festival goers to flee. In a post on social media, police wanted to reassure the public that anybody you saw running, it was just a prank caused by an epic fart. We want to assure everyone there were no weapons, no physical altercations, and no injuries reported at any time, the post read. The silent but deadly saboteur pranked the park several times during the night because if there's one thing funnier than one fake fart, it's 5. Police said the pungent panic started with a small group screaming and then running from the giant crowd-clearing fart, followed by a larger reaction where others began running without knowing why.
Oh,
I mean, I'd be in that boat nowadays, wouldn't you?
Just following the crowd,
Heck
my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
We're running for our lives? Okay, fine. We're running for our lives.
It's definitely from a madman with a gun and not fart spray, I might think. But that's all it was.
Kids had a big bucket of that fart spray, huh?
Yeah.
My brother and I were suspended from junior high for 3 days for fart bombs in the hallways.
3 days? Wow.
3 days. Out of school suspension, which
terrible.
Is still hilarious to me that they thought that was a punishment. Out of school suspension, because we hauled into the hallways a few boxes of fart bombs, and we just cut them loose all over the school and had a great time.
Those stink bombs were way worse than I thought they were going to be.
Oh, they linger.
I have a friend, he became legend when he did that my sophomore year of high school. And
They'll part your hair for you.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. There was 2 hallways that led to the lunchroom, and he got both of them, so there was no escaping.
Everyone's appetite just goes straight to hell.
Oh, it's so bad. On the sweeter side of the scent spectrum, a thief with a strong preference for freshness is on the run after swiping air freshener from a Florida Family Dollar last week. Police say the unidentified aromatic assailant entered the store Thursday afternoon with a plastic garbage bag and a plan. Over the next 22 minutes, the fragrant fraudster discreetly took 2 bottles of Febreze Unstoppable Touch fabric spray.
Oh, that sounds nice.
2 bottles of Febreze Downy April Fresh fabric softener, 3 cans of car refrigerant, and a Volts personal lockbox. The suspect appears to have a strong preference for freshness, temperature control, and personal security, but no interest in lawful purchasing, the sheriff's office joked on Facebook. As of now, the scented suspect remains in the wind.
I think I've got maybe some level of addiction to canned air freshener. If you give me a can of air freshener, I'll dump the whole sumbitchin' thing in the house in one day. I love the smell of the stuff. I can understand why people get hooked on it.
I do too, but I've never...
The ozone layer can kiss my ass.
I've never... You get cold easy. You hate the ozone layer. You want that sun to poke right through.
Yeah, so I'm a junkie with that stuff.
We don't really buy it. Maybe we should.
No, it's like suddenly no one wants to keep that stuff in the house anymore. I
mentioned on Monday or maybe it was yesterday that we've got the new air freshener in the bathroom here. I love it. Although now I think there's a camera in there. It's like an elf on the shelf. It keeps moving around.
Right.
It used to be up where the paper towels are. Yesterday it was pointed at the toilet. So I think somebody put a camera in there. And now today it's under the sink. I don't know what's going on.
That is
Just
weird.
kind of trying to find the best spot.
But it's awesome. It's just this little Airwick air freshener that just kind of spritzes every once in a while.
I'm jealous. We don't have one of those in the woman's room.
Yeah, you don't need one.
Get it on our level, Ashley.
Yeah, true. It just naturally smells good in there.
Yeah, you guys are good. We're in some trouble. Law enforcement had their hands full Saturday night after 2 massive car meetups took place over at some parking lots in the Twin Cities. Things revved up about 9 p.m. when Brooklyn Center Police got a call about more than 400 cars packed into a vacant Dollar Tree lot. Drivers were revving engines, peeling out, and making a serious racket. Officers from multiple agencies rushed to the scene, working together to break up the crowd and steer traffic toward a nearby highway. But the night wasn't over yet. About 10:30 p.m., police tracked about 100 of the same cars to a park-and-ride lot in Brooklyn Park, where the roaring engines and uproar picked up again. This time, local and state law enforcement moved in and managed to break things up without any arrests. Just a lot of noise and some frayed nerves from nearby residents.
Where do all these teenage kids get the money for these cool cars?
Yeah, I wonder that myself.
These fast, loud, cool-looking cars. I mean, if me and my bros would have got together for a car meetup when we were 19 years old, we really wouldn't have bothered anybody.
You know what it would have been? It would have been those average Joe car shows we used to have back in the day where those were fun. We'd have an event where people would bring like the crappiest car they owned, and we'd set it up like it was this beautiful car show.
That's brilliant.
It was fun.
We really would have gone mostly unnoticed if 8-10 of us just got together in a parking lot and revved the engines. You know, one guy's got a Chevy Citation.
Oh, my grandma had one of those.
The other one's got a broken old F-150. We wouldn't have disturbed. So where are they getting the money?
Right. Same thing, Nick, too, with my friends. Like, if we had a car meetup, probably only half of us would have gotten there because half the cars would have broken down on the way to the meetup.
Yeah.
A 59-year-old Florida woman's facing multiple charges for opening fire on a man she lives with after he told her, "You don't run the house," prompting her to spit in his face and pull a revolver, blasting in his direction at least 4 times.
Hawked a loogie right in his mug.
Yeah, he sure did. The Sunday night shooting attack began after the victim heard the woman, her last name is Stuckey, talking to someone outside, bragging about how she, quote, runs this house. Upon hearing that declaration, the housemate waited until she came back inside and hit her with, "You don't run this house," before heading to his room. Well, that didn't sit well with Stuckey. Police said Stuckey retrieved the revolver from her bedroom and walked over to the victim's glass-paneled door, tapping on it with the gun, and called him a pussy boy.
What the hell?
Yeah, she did. And then she fired and kept firing. When she was questioned by police, the 4-time convicted felon denied firing into the victim's bedroom. However, Stuckey's story didn't stick.
Who the hell are you calling a pussy boy?
She called him that. What a terrible thing to say to someone. I ain't no, then bang, 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 bang. Bang. A witness saw everything, so her lie didn't get very far. It's unclear what sort of relationship Stuckey and the victim had, with cops only revealing they lived together.
Tough, man. That gal sounds tough. By the way, I hope folks know that I had no intention to set you up to play the Haktua girl on this radio station.
Yeah, I had no plan to play it until you did that.
Tell you what, Josh, I want to make a deal with you. I'd like to give you $5 every time it's obvious that that audio could be used, but you don't do it from here on out.
Should we do one of those spit shakes? Here.
Yeah, we can shake on it. Shake on it.
Spit on this thing first.
Shake my hand.
Where's my $5?
Shake. I'm not spitting on anything because I know what you're doing.
Well, I want $5.
Every time. Oh, okay. No, that counts. That's $5.
I want $5.
Every time it's obvious that that audio could be played, if you don't do it, you get $5 from Daddy.
Okay, would it be fair if I deleted the Haktua button, or I have to have it within reach, right? Otherwise, that's probably not fair to you.
How is it not fair to me?
If the button's not there, I can't press it.
Right.
So I'd get $5 no matter what. I have to have it within.
You have to have it within your grasp.
Because it's an instant reaction at this point.
That's part of the challenge. It's a test of will, so to speak, for you.
So I have to have it right here.
Yeah.
All right.
So
do you want to press it?
No. I never want to hear it ever again.
I've got 2 emojis on here. It's a lip emoji and then some spraying water.
Dude, that's awesome.
$5 every time it's obvious that it could happen, but you refuse to.
All right. You got it. An 87-year-old Florida man, I'm up $5 so far. Yep. An 87-year-old Florida man was arrested for domestic battery after a fight with his wife over control of the thermostat.
What about your thermostat?
Long, a source of marital strife. Oh, boy.
You've had problems with that.
Yeah, definitely. Control of the thermostat triggered the 7 a.m. confrontation Monday between 85-year-old Charles Ingram and his wife. Investigators say Ingram returned home and argued with his wife about the air conditioner. The woman touched the thermostat to turn the air down. She thought it was too cold, prompting Ingram to push her away from the thermostat and push her up against a wall.
Did you touch the thermostat? Did you turn it up?
When questioned by police, Ingram admitted to pushing her first and said she did push him back, though. He was arrested on a domestic violence charge, bumped up to a felony thanks to his well-seasoned criminal record, which included prior battery busts going back over 40 years.
Well-seasoned.
Yes, he has quite the record.
Mm-hmm.
His resume of wrongdoing also boasts a 1985 felony welfare fraud conviction.
I act like the man in my household when it comes to the thermostat. He's always trying to turn the heat on. No, stop touching it. It's my business. I got it covered. You're messing with my flow.
Isn't it his business too?
No, it's mine. Only mine. He can put on a sweatshirt. He can get a blanket. Whatever he needs to do. But I want it to be 65 degrees in that house.
Yeah. No, I go the other way. If I had my way, it would always be somewhere between 77 and 80 degrees in the house.
Is that an exaggeration?
I'm sweating thinking about that.
I don't think so. I think I could live with that.
Oh, yeah. 65. I like that, Ashley.
78.
There's no need for air conditioning in my motor vehicle or my home. I've been cold my entire life, and I'm friggin' sick of it.
Most fires are started when your house is at 78. That seems dangerous.
It's because you soft-ass people.
I'm convinced
Wait, we're
iron
soft?
isn't
Yeah,
good,
you're
dude.
soft.
You're the one that's cold all the time.
You need air conditioning in the summer. That makes you SAWFT soft.
I like air conditioning in the winter. I don't even know what you're talking about.
So everywhere I go, it's cold because all you people, oh, it's too hot. It's too hot. Go to the friggin' old folks' home.
Wait a minute. Aren't the old folks' home the ones that are always cold?
That's what you think.
Oh.
That's what you're told by fake news.
I couldn't help it. I owe you $5.
Oh, wait a minute. Right. I get $5 every time you play it ever again.
Yeah, so we're even.
Now we're even.
Now we're even.
I could use some beer money for this weekend. I hope you've got some kind of saliva-based report coming up.
How much money do you need?
A case of beer is like 25 some odd bucks these days.
Oh, here, I'll pay half.
Huck to it. Huck to it. Huck to it.
A little over half, I guess.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
A 63-year-old Florida man decided pants were passé when he attempted a home invasion on natural. Deputies responded to a 911 call after a victim reported a man, later identified as Matthew Hunter, was naked and trying to break into her residence. The resident said she heard what sounded like a knife trying to cut through the lock on the front door. Deputies said when they arrived, they found the birthday-suited butthole walking from the home, still sans slacks. They also discovered fresh gouges on the front door, frame, and molding.
What's going on, bro?
I just came over to talk to you.
You're walking around the street naked.
I know.
Yeah, he knows he's naked.
Why are you telling me things that I already know?
Yeah, what's that cop's problem?
You think I'm stupid or something?
Yeah, I'm freezing. Look at this. Attempting to break into a home without your britches isn't an encounter you want to have with law enforcement, Sheriff Rick Staley said. Doing so is bound to land you in the Green Roof Inn or dead by a homeowner protecting themselves from a lunatic, said the sheriff. Hunter was taken to jail where he faces charges of attempted burglary, exposure of sex organs, and criminal mischief.
I want to throw a few more dollars around here, Josh.
All right.
I want to stop that Grady Judd from being on our show, too.
What?
I'm tired of him.
That wasn't Grady Judd.
Oh, I know, but you mentioned a sheriff had a smart comment or whatever. Can we make some kind of a money agreement on that Grady Judd douchebag?
But he's got some pretty great quotes.
I'm tired of him.
Including some I'm afraid to say, which are fantastic, though.
We'll work on that. For now, we still have a bet on the Hawk-Tua girl.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan, retiring from Quality Tool today from Other Dan and the team. I got a text from one happy dad looking for a shout-out to his son, streaming 93X from Arizona, and we sure do appreciate that as well.
We do.
Congratulations to short but fat Jesus, who became a proud grandma yesterday.
A grandma?
She's a grandma, believe it or not.
Congrats.
Happy birthday to little Mike from Dirty Mike and the Boys. They say they'll see you in the soup kitchen.
Yeah.
Safe travels to Trade River Brush Ape Jesus. It's his Friday as well. He and his smoking hot wife are off to South Padre for a long weekend without the kids. That's exactly what I'm doing. Boston with the kids. It's essentially the same
friggin' thing
as South Padre without
the kids.
That's 93X News.
Randy Shaver.
That is the gentleman who showed me his butthole.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Pearson controlling the puck with his skates, kicks it along, it emerges. McKay plays it behind the net, out in front, score! It's over! Howden off the one-touch feed. Vegas wins it in overtime.
Yeah, here we go. It was a heartbreaker, by God. Vegas did win in overtime, and now the Pigs are up against it. Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder, what a hell of a deal, huh? Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder?
Uh-oh.
Any live human being?
Can you hear me?
Oh, there we got you.
Hi, Randy.
Okay.
There's the other
Hello.
guy.
Now we can hear you guys.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that the Wild obviously thought they had the win last night.
Yeah.
It's too bad. It's crazy how fast the video people work in all the sports, especially basketball and hockey.
I hate
Isn't
them.
it? It's crazy.
Well, yeah, they've got 30 guys in a video room, right? And each of them are kind of assigned to one game, correct? Is that?
That might be the case. I guess I know in the NBA, the guys sit behind the main bench there, and they've got iPads and they're watching. It must be the same way for the NHL.
Sure.
Because they must have the videos right there because...
You mean the coaches and whatnot?
Yes.
Okay.
The video people, because they were right on that challenge pretty quick after they ruled it a goal. They waited to see if they were going to rule it a goal. They did, and then they challenged it with the offsides. And it's so unfortunate because the Wild thought they had a win last night.
Effing replay, man. I've been telling you for years.
I know.
Sucks.
I hate it. It was such an emotional roller coaster.
It sucks. Replay sucks in all the sports. I mean, let them have a goal scored because a skate blade is a quarter of an inch over the blue line. You know, let let a touchdown happen, even though a blade of grass touched the guy's knee as he was. I don't like replay.
Exactly.
We can know that. What did that hand signal mean, Dane? Dana is his name.
Madano's on the phone.
Right away. We're going to start off with our Minnesota Wild update. Obviously, we were already talking a little bit about last night's game. A special guest has been gracious enough to join us this morning, Brad and Randy.
Love you.
Love you too.
Right back at you, man.
A special guest has been gracious enough to join us and talk some hockey. He made a few playoff runs in his day. One of the best to ever lace him up is on the telephone. Mike Modano joins us this morning. Hello, Mike.
You caught me in the middle of school drop-off.
So you don't love us?
That's a weird visual these days.
You were dropping the kids off already, huh?
Yeah, get them out of here.
You see, now that you got a pile of kids at the house.
I think like 8 or 9, I think.
Yeah. I'm guessing you're not able to stay up and see the end of these late games, are you?
I record them and watch them. So, I mean, that one last night kind of topped it off. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I just can't believe the way that thing played out. I mean, the offside thing is just a killer nowadays. It's just, you're talking by inches. The one that they missed the other night at home that they did call offsides that wasn't. And, oh, God, the big guy there had a breakaway. But last night, I mean, I don't know how Nyquist just stays on. Just be cautious. Just give it a couple feet. Just don't make it close. And, but, oh, man, I just couldn't believe it. Gus gets hurt or sick. I don't know what's going on there. So, I mean, just a world of the things in the that last hour of TV.
Was dramatic stuff. That was dramatic stuff.
Yeah, it was. It was just heartbreaking. Those overtimes are just killers, and they just, it's just tough. You just try to play that perfect game, manage the puck. They just lost their coverage in their own zone on Howden's goal. I thought Merrill should probably have been a little closer to the net, not drifted out high in the slot, and that guy found a little pocket there. So, just little things that, playoffs, those little things just kind of, they come back to haunt you.
It goes to show you how narrow the margin is at times because, I mean, how narrow the margin is between winning and losing. With a lucky break here or there, the Pigs could have already wrapped up this series, but it hasn't worked out that way. And by the way, I neglected to mention that our Wild Update is brought to you by Luther Kia of Bloomington, and we thank them for their support. So now they're up against it. They've got back-to-back games that they must win, or they're done, skis. Phil Gustafson leaves after the second period because of some kind of a sickness. The first thing I thought was, it is Las Vegas. Las Vegas will do that to the toughest individuals. But I don't really know what the situation was there. Obviously, you got a Hall of Famer that came in and took his place, and everything turned out just fine. I don't think that Philip Gustafson makes the save on that overtime winner. But how many playoff games did you end up having under your belt, Mike Madano?
Oh, man.
A couple hundred or something like that?
176, 175, something there.
How do you know this, Randy Shaver?
Because once I found out Mike was on this morning, I pulled up his postseason stats. 176.
176 friggin' playoff games. Yeah, that's something. A little Randy Shaver.
Seen a lot, but yeah, like you said, the amount of just little things that happens, like you said, the minuscule things that happen a lot during the regular season, but they're just so magnified now in the playoffs. Just like little block shots that go through. The thought of the games is just get the pucks to the net, see what happens. Everything caroms off. It's just bad bounces. It's just just those little things that just kind of add up, and it's just like you said, it's such a fine line from winning to losing. That you just try to manage the puck. You try to be as perfect as you can be with your exits out of your zone. your execution, shots on net, block shots. I mean, everybody's just sacrificing the level of just adversity, the intense, emotionally, physically, mentally, just everything that just you go every other night for 2 months. It's a toll. So it's and you need to have depth. The teams that have the good third and fourth line, if you look back at who was won, usually have some bottom six guys that are very they contribute a lot. They do a lot of things that they have their fingerprints all over these games. So Vegas is pretty deep, but Minnesota's they're fighting, they're battling. I mean, Thursday's a big tilt. So I mean, they get that one, they go to Game 7. Those are anybody's guesses at that point.
Guys like Mike and I, we not that we would know anything about the third or fourth line, right, Mike?
You never even met yours.
We wouldn't. We barely knew the names of the third and fourth liners. But you're right; they are important. They are important. So Thursday night is a must-win. They got to go back to Vegas to clinch the series. The Russian kid last night scored again on what's becoming kind of his patented backdoor one-timer. Boldy scored again. Eriksson Ek had assists on both those goals. So the first line is still absolutely cooking.
They've been on fire, and they've kind of carried the load, and that's really kind of what has kind of led them to kind of hang in this series for a long time. Those guys go a little dry. That's where you need those other guys to contribute and just take a little bit of the attention away from those guys, because they're getting their top checkers, their top pair of D, and so if they can find some wiggle room with someone else just to kind of maybe spread the wealth a little bit. But those guys have been just at another level, and that's really what you need too. You need your top guys just playing at such another level. They've been playing great all season long, but it's been fun to watch Boldy, Kirill. Boldy's had a great season. And so he's been lights out since the Four Nations thing. So, and it's always nice to have a healthy Kirill, and I think Zuki with his creativity is always going to find someone open, and that too is just a little bit of a loose coverage on the wall. It just gave Zuki just a second of a time to find that space and that seam, and those guys go back and forth all day practice like that. They just fire pucks back and forth and trying to get shots off from everywhere from cross ice and that seam in that offensive zone. And, they're two of the best at it.
I suppose we're talking with Mike Modano here about the NHL playoffs, specifically the Wild, of course. I suppose in your day, that dangerous backdoor one-timer guy was one of your old teammates, Brett Hull, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was. That was his patented spot in that slot and that far side off where Ovechkin kind of hangs out a lot. But he was always he never wanted to be the first and second option. He wanted to be the third and fourth. So you cause some confusion. You throw some shots from the point. And there's some loose coverage. A puck pounces out, and then that's when Brett kind of finds his seam, and we kind of slide it into him. So. He's always obviously brought a lot of attention to him when he's in that slot area. But when there's chaos and there's shots coming from all over and people turn to see where the rebound is, that's kind of when he finds his little pocket in his niche. And but if you ask Brett, he was always open. So he was that was a good guy to find all the time, because I knew he'd get it off somehow, some way in that traffic and get it on net.
Yeah, before Ovechkin, Brett Hull was that guy where he
kind of created that patent spot. Stamkos over there, Ovechkin, but I think Hully was kind of the guy that created that umbrella, that pass through that slot kind of play in the power play. He was that main guy for that.
So, Mike, in 1991 for the North Stars, who was that guy? Who was that guy on that team?
I think it was probably Brian Bellows a lot, and it's funny, I talk about that run all the time, and to this day we hold the record for most power play goals in a playoff season that season. So we were I think it's about 35, 36 power play goals. So that thing was clicking like no one's business. So, I mean, we played Chicago and St. Louis, and I think they just were frustrated that we were, even involved in the series to start, but they take penalties, and we felt like we scored on every one. So, and with that cause some more frustration, and they take more penalties, and that's really what got us to the final to Pittsburgh. So, but yeah, Brian certainly was that trigger guy. He had a great shot. Neil was kind of the creator, the quarterback guy in the power play, and we just had, guys could pick up some garbage with Prop and Gagne and myself, and and Tenorti was a big man who was getting the slot, just causing some confusion. So we had a lot of little pieces that worked well together, and it just was. I think we barely got in that playoffs that year. I think we had to win one of the last 2 games in Quebec to get in, and the rest was history.
You see, now I'm off the hook, Josh. Mike Modano brought up 91. Now I can talk about it. A couple of my buddies last night, I let them know that you were coming on the show this morning, and they said, don't smother the guy with nothing but talk about 91. And I said, what's the problem? And they said, you always bring up 91, and the couple times you've had Modano on the air, you bother him up and down about 91. He's probably tired of talking about it. So I came into this a little bit apprehensive about talking about 91, but now that you brought it up, I don't know. I'll come up with something.
91 still salt in the wound. You're up 2-1 against Pittsburgh. All you need is 2 more wins. And,
God, no kidding.
Mario Lemieux's back spasms just didn't last long enough to get another 2 wins. He was a wrecking machine those last 3 games, and it was all over.
Game 3, right? The announcement comes over the PA. Healthy with the scratches, right? Before every game, they'd always announce, here are the scratches for tonight's game. And we're all sitting in our seats, and they said Mario Lemieux is a scratch. And I thought, it's happening now, man. This is it. Yep. Friggin' back spasms. Why couldn't they have lasted a couple more weeks, for Christ's sake? Man.
I think he had his equipment guy actually lacing and tightening his skates up. He couldn't even bend over to tighten his skates. But somehow he came out and, scores 4 or 5 goals in the next 2 games. I'm like, God, must be feeling okay.
Yeah. And his mom tying his skates before the game. He comes out. Yep. You mentioned Alexander Ovechkin. What do you make of his season, Mike Modano?
Just an amazing career. Obviously, just one for the books, man. You just kind of Mr. Consistent. I mean, the amount of goals he scored in the short amount of games that he played. I mean, it's just it's magnificent. I mean, just. The funny thing is, everybody in the league and the game, and you play him, and you watch tapes. They know where he's at. They know where he's going to shoot from, and no one can really stop it or get in the way of it and still contain him. So they know it's coming, and no one's still able to do anything about it. So that says a lot about the way he can score, the different ways he can score over the years on the rush, and different areas of the ice and stuff like that. So it was. It's one that, you never thought would even get someone would even come close to it at all. But, you think about Wayne's numbers and all that stuff. I mean, he'd still be leading the league with just an assist alone if he didn't score a goal. So that's what's crazy about that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We mentioned a few minutes ago 176, 177 playoff games in your career, 20 years. Not to, test you too much here at 7:50 in the morning, but do you remember specifically being down 3-2 in a series and one of your clubs overcoming that deficit? That's what the Wild are looking at right now, a 3-2 series deficit. They must win 2. Were you ever in that situation and it worked?
Well, 99, 2000, we were down 3-2 to Colorado.
Okay.
And we had to win Game 6 in Denver to get home, to get Game 7 back in Dallas. So we had to do it on the road. Mm-hmm. And you just your thought process is just as well as you can, just be prepared. You know what's coming. You know the personnel. You know what's expected on the other side. Let's certainly try to get the first goal of the game, and we did. So that kind of relaxes everybody a little bit and kind of forces them to kind of be more the initiator. But we had to win Game 6 in Denver against the Avs those back-to-back years, and we were able to pull those off, and we got Game 7 back home. So little different scenario here, mm-hmm. But you just have to know you're going to have the crowd and just get the lead. They haven't had much of it, so if you get that first one right out of the gate and get the crowd going and get them heavy into it, and everybody in the building know that it could be the last game of the season, but. Right. you try to be, some desperation, try to be calm and composed and, play the game. And once the puck drops, just play it like any other. But, the intensity has to get ratcheted up. They just have to be on the hunt for 2 hours and just get after them. So they've done it before. They know if they can get on their D and get in that zone, an offensive zone, and get them running around. And, Aiden Hill just seems a little shaky. Sometimes he's just, some pucks come at him and it's just a little bouncy and he just looks a little off. So if you get him second guessing his game, it could be a good one. So it's shift to shift and, fresh legs, monitor yourself, and just be ready to go. But it should be, I can't wait. It should be fun.
But it can be done, Mike Modano said. It can be done.
It's been done a lot of times. Been done a ton of times. You just have to, they know what they have to do. They can do it. So
of course, I remember that. I remember that 99-2000 season. You guys went on to play the New Jersey Devils in the final, correct, Mike Modano?
We did, yeah. We were off. We were down early in that final, and playing the Devils the way they played, and Brodeur, they just shut it down, and we were able to get Game 5 in Jersey. I think it was a triple overtime 1-0 game, and but lost Game 6 in I think another double overtime. So it was tough. I think that year was one of those ones you think about like 91. If you would have had a better start, maybe the outcome's different.
It's not your fault. I'm not blaming you, but I did lose $100 on that series. It's just a true story. It still pisses me off. I loved your hockey club, the Dallas Stars. That was the team I rooted for even after you guys left Minnesota. I know a lot of Minnesotans, they can't believe that, but I had no choice. I recognized all the names, and so I continued to root for the Dallas Stars. And, of course, I was cheering for you in that Stanley Cup final. And my sister-in-law at the time bet me $100 on that series. She picked the New Jersey Devils, knowing nothing about hockey. If I remember right, she picked the New Jersey Devils because she thought Scott Niedermeyer was cute or something like that. Scott, was it Scott, the defenseman?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
She thought he was cute, so she made a $100 bet with me, and she friggin' won.
Hell yeah.
He was cute and good.
That's not fair.
Well, thanks for your time, Mike. You golfing a lot lately?
Yeah, I'm heading out there in about an hour. So yeah, it's that time of year. So it's coming. So we're gonna start beating that thing to death for a few months this summer. So I can't wait.
Well, from what everyone tells me, you're just one of the best in the damn business.
Well, I don't know. These winters in Minnesota have changed it. The Phoenix life was a little better. We're working on it, though.
Good for you. Thanks for taking the time, Mike Modano, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
You got it, guys. Anytime. Take care.
Take it easy. Minnesota Wild Report brought to you by Luther Kia of Bloomington. You ever had him out for your golf tournament, Randy Shaver?
He's been invited.
Yeah? Does he mop up?
He's been invited. He has not played yet.
Beat everybody's. He has not played yet.
No,
okay.
You've tried.
I love the answer.
That's why Randy did all the research this morning to try to butter him up a little bit.
No. I just trying to refresh my memory, that's all.
No, I understand he's just unbelievable. Like, he could really join these silly...
Well, those hockey players are all really good golfers.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, they just have that swing.
But I hear he's the best. Of all the hockey players, Mike Modano's
doesn't he play in that Lake Tahoe event?
He actually he finishes high in that every single year.
Yeah.
He plays in that event.
Maybe one day he'll be on the Real Deal Tour, right?
Well, I don't know about that.
Those guys are at a different level.
There's a couple steps you got to take before then.
Nick, you should have him on, though, before he goes out to play in that. It'd be kind of fun to hear him talk about that event, because that event's pretty cool.
Can I still talk about 91?
Sure.
Then fine.
Because if there's nothing that Nick is an expert at, it's talking about golf.
He loves
exactly.
I love to talk about all sports. Oh, man. All right, so there you go. 3-2 series deficit now. Game 6 will be here tomorrow night. They got to win back-to-back, or she's all over for the Piggies.
It's going to be a huge night tomorrow night.
Oh, that crowd's going to be buck wild.
My gosh.
Buck wild.
And we got a 6:30 start, too. How about that for once?
Really?
Yeah.
That is beautiful, Dana.
Lick me down. Just lick me up and down. Toronto Blue Jays blew it last night. They had a chance to end their series with Ottawa at home, and they were shut out.
Toronto Blue Jays?
I'm sorry. You know who I'm talking about. There's too much going on. As soon as March Madness starts, I have no chance to catch my breath until the Stanley Cup is handed out.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a little... The Toronto Raptors had a chance to clinch at home against Ottawa, and they were shut out. Carolina's done with New Jersey. They had a big comeback win. Edmonton is up 3-2 on the Los Angeles Kings, with the Oilers winning last night 3-1.
When you said the Blue Jays, I thought you were going to talk about the incredible catch by Dalton Varsho last night. Did you see the catch?
I did not.
Oh, Nick, you've got to see this catch.
Oh, here I go again.
Dalton Varsho playing center field last night for the Blue Jays.
All right.
He stumbles on the warning track and falls down, reaches back with his glove, and makes the catch.
Varsho.
It's unbelievable.
All right, I'm headed in that direction, for Christ's sake.
Dalton Varsho for the Blue Jays last night. Incredible. If you have not seen this catch.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
In the stands, he'll fly that one deep. Right field, Santander's back, and that ball's gone. Jaron Duran with number 2.
Yeah, I'm looking for it, Randy. But I'm no good at this. You know that.
That is an absolute incredible catch.
If you go on ESPN.com,
ESPN,
and just scroll down a little bit.
All right.
Varsho catches on there.
Seems to normally have. Here's a drive to deep center.
All right.
Varsho back.
Oh, wow.
And did he catch that ball? He caught that ball. I mean, Dalton, we know you want a gold glove, and we know you're good, but quit showing off, would you?
I'm getting there. They sound excited. They sound excited at the ballpark.
The look on his face, he was kind of embarrassed because he realized that he created that himself by falling.
I totally agree.
He wasn't celebrating the catch. He was like embarrassed the way.
Yeah, he kind of looked like, well, that was kind of silly.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have caught a cleat on the warning track, and it made him stumble. But he had the presence of mind to stick his glove back and look back, and the ball just happened to be right there.
I love all his teammates are laughing.
That's just incredible.
That is wonderful. I just got a chance to see it. His pitcher appeared to be very appreciative.
It was a miserable game, by the way, for Toronto. They got just blown out by Boston, but it was a great catch.
That is one hell of a catch.
Yeah.
All right. Well, might as well. Let's switch gears over to baseball then real quick. Twins got friggin' walked off in the ninth by the Cleveland Guardians last night. She was a 2-1 final. Kyle Manzardo homered to lead off the ninth for the Guardians. That sounds like some kind of product we might spread on our balls before we go out on a date. Manzardo. Right, Cubby?
You're so right.
Yeah. You're going out tonight, huh, with Tina? Yeah. Want to borrow my Manzardo?
A good friend always lends out his Manzardo.
Get you all fresh before your big date.
You can picture the commercials. Manzardo for your Nardo.
Kyle Manzardo hit the game-winning dong for the Guardians off of Ashley's grade school boyfriend, Louis Varland.
Ah, Louis.
So the 4-game win streak is over. The only other Cleveland run was also a dong. Solo dong, Bo Naylor off of Twins starter Chris Paddock. That was in the third inning. The only Twins run was a dong, and that was hit by Ty France, who has been
he's on fire right now.
Really strong at the plate.
Yeah, he's been very good.
Three hits last night, including that dong. It was his fourth straight game with an RBI. So the Twins were up against a tough pitcher or two last night. Cleveland starter Tanner Bybee is very good. Their closer, Emmanuel Clase, is very tough. They did get a hit off Clase in the ninth.
Well, Clase's been struggling. He has not been...
Oh, he has?
Yeah, he's not been as good as not as sharp, at least early on this year. But he got the win last night thanks to your friend Manzardo. So
they got a hit off of Clase, and then the Twins tried to steal a base, and the sumbitch got caught. Game 3 of 4 is tonight. Pablo Lopez going to pitch for the Twins. Come on, Timberwolves. Let's end this misery so we can move on to more intense stress and misery.
Yeah. You're going to love the next series.
I love and hate it when the Wolves are in the playoff, as you can clearly hear. Let's end this misery so we can move on to even more intense stress and misery. Wolves-Lakers Game 5 tonight in Los Angeles at 9 o'clock.
It's very possible the Wolves will know who they're going to play before the game starts tonight. If Golden State wins, they win the series.
Yeah, but what are you talking about? Who they're going to play? Well,
that's who they'll play next if they beat the Lakers.
Okay.
They're going to beat the Lakers? Oh, come on. The Lakers are cooked.
I have no time. I don't have the mental capacity to be confident. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to be clear. Maybe I'm not making myself clear. I just can't put anything away until it's officially over.
Don't you feel like though the Lakers have thrown everything at the Wolves?
Yes.
In this series.
Yes.
They have played their starters the entire second half.
Right.
LeBron has had 2 classic LeBron games. He's
a loser. He's a loser.
For 40 years old, he's had 2, and the Wolves have responded both times.
Yes.
I still think they've maybe got one more little run, and I'm not so sure. Maybe the Wolves will have a little bit of a letdown, but there's no chance the Lakers win Game 6 if they have to come back here.
I just get a little case of the willies when people talk like that. It's not your fault. Go ahead.
Don't freak out if they don't win tonight.
I understand, Brad Ryder. Sure. I just want to get it over with. Send LeBron and Bronny and Baby Nuts out to the golf course with Mike Modano. So Madano can kick their asses at golf. I want it over. But then, like you said, let's say they do move on to the next round. And let's say it's Golden State that meets them there.
Jimmy Bottles, baby.
I'm going to be inconsolable.
It's Jimmy Bottles. Brad's guy.
See, Bottles isn't the guy that will have me the most aggravated if we get there. If we get there. There are 2 other guys that will have me beyond aggravated during every
one.
Pardon me?
I said 2 other guys. I know who one is. Who's the other one?
Well, it's Steph.
Yeah. Draymond. Sorry.
Yeah. Those are the guys where every single step of the way I will be aggravated, angry. I don't know if I can do this.
You think Draymond Green and Rudy Gobert will get into it a couple of times?
I hope they fight to the death. Mm-hmm. I hope this time they fight to the death. That's all. But they got to win one more game in this stinking series with the Los Angeles Dodgers. 9 o'clock tonight. Guess who's not worried about the late start times this time around?
No one
here.
This friggin' group of people right here, because we will not be broadcasting tomorrow or Friday because Josh is going to Boston.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh. We're going to Fenway, Randy.
Are you really? Good for you.
That's why we're going. My mother-in-law has visited every American League park except for Fenway, so we're going to go check the Twins out on Friday.
Special place. Where you sitting, Josh?
I don't know. I can look that up. It's nothing special.
You're not sitting on the wall, though.
No, we looked. Those are crazy expensive.
Yeah.
The Green Monster tickets.
Yeah.
When I went there in high school, Josh, I snuck up onto the Monster. I went and bought a big popcorn and a big soda. And so my hands were full, and I was 16, 17, and I walk up, and the usher's like, I need to see your ticket. I'm like, oh, I act all flustered. I think my dad has it. He's right over there. Yeah, see, he's waving. He's right there. Dad. And the guy's like, okay, just go ahead. So I just went up on the Monster and watched from there for a couple innings.
Pretty cool?
Yeah, it's very slick.
Yeah.
Up on the Monster. Hey, Josh, we were talking about this new cleansing product for male genitalia called Manzardo.
Yeah.
You had a slogan. It was, what was it again?
Manzardo for your man nardos.
For your nardos. Listener says, Manzardo. Today's sports segment with Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder is brought to you by Manzardo. When you go out at night, keep your nuts smelling right. Manzardo.
Beautiful.
Here's a listener talking about this gauntlet that the Wolves will have to go through in order to get to the, finals. It's like the worst revenge tour ever. You got to go past all your enemies to win it this year. Yeah.
It makes it more fun.
Oh, it's going to suck.
Stressful.
It's just going to suck.
Well, you're going to start to sweat. You're sweating. If only there was a product for your nards.
Well, Denver won last night, so they're on the verge of eliminating the Clippers.
Okay.
And that means that OKC and Denver will play each other in the semi, which will be a great series.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. The Wolves, they get by the Lakers, and they get by Golden State. They might face Denver again. That's a possibility.
Indiana's done with Milwaukee.
Yep.
Detroit snuck by the New York Knicks.
What a great game. I love watching the Pistons play. They're so damn physical.
That's been the only other series I've paid attention to is the Detroit.
Don't you think they're fun to watch?
Yeah, except for I can't stand what's his nuts there, the guy that missed more three-pointers than he made when he was here, but suddenly now he's the
Michael Beasley.
Yeah. I want to punch him in the mouth.
Does that be easy?
Yeah.
No, not Michael Beasley. Malik Beasley.
No. Yeah, Malik.
Beasley, yeah.
That's not the black hole in basketball.
Michael Beasley, he didn't like to pass the basketball.
No, ball goes in.
Neither did Malik Beasley.
Yeah, but Malik's more douchey about it. Boston's done with Orlando, and like you mentioned, Denver whooped the L.A. Clippers.
Yeah, Jamal Murray had 43 last night.
Ooh. Jamal Murray? Oh, I don't like him either. Josh, here's the ad for Manzardo. I say, hey, Cubby, I got a date tonight, but my coins smell like expired hard-boiled eggs.
Oh!
Jesus.
And then you'll say something cute about Manzardo.
Oh.
Yeah, you offer the product to me. Maybe you put it on for me. And then I head out the door, and we go to see a rom-com, me and some gal.
Man. That's disgusting. Expired hard-boiled eggs. Well, I got you something.
Even if they're not expired, they're not very tasteful.
I've eaten expired hard-boiled eggs.
Tasteful.
Wasn't worth it.
So I say to you, Josh, do you have any Raid? Do you have any Yard Guard? And you say, well, that's not safe for your testicles. Try Manzardo. Because a guy shouldn't spray Yard Guard or Raid on his testicles.
I mean, desperate measures.
Yeah, you've got Manzardo. You ate expired hard-boiled eggs. You almost died.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I was miserable. I ended up risking it one more time, also regretting it, but God, they're so good.
What do you mean you risked it one more time?
Well, I knew that they were like the day of, right? I checked the expiration date another time.
At the gas station.
Yeah, gas station hard-boiled eggs. And it was the day of, and I thought, well, these are going to be safe, and it wasn't. That was not the case.
Have you gone back a third time?
No, I haven't.
Just out of the hard-boiled egg game?
No, I'll still eat them, but not from that gas station.
Yeah.
Dude, a listener, Tire Guy Jesus, sent me a fun picture. We should blow this picture up and put it on the wall here in the building. Tire Guy Jesus, he said 2 words for tonight. And those 2 words are Nas Reed. But what he did here with this picture is he superimposed NAZREID up where the Hollywood sign normally hangs out up on that hill.
Yeah.
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? That's cute. I like that. So instead of Hollywood, it just says Nas Reed.
What do you think about this from Eastbound at Sundown Jesus? Hey, Nick, I always carry a can of Manzardo between me butt cheeks.
Oh, God.
I don't know why that would be in a commercial, but...
Could make for a cute ad. So next year, during the NBA season, this is something that everyone seemed to be wetting their pants over, and I didn't follow it at all. So you guys have to fill me in. What's the drama concerning the NBA on TNT for next year? What's the drama everyone's been talking about?
I think they're going to NBC, aren't they?
They're switching channels?
Yeah, the NBA's contract with TNT expires after this year,
Okay.
so the NBA will not be on TNT next year, which means that studio show that everybody loves will no longer exist on TNT.
Okay, that's it? What the hell was the hubbub before? They're switching channels.
Yeah, like all these tearful goodbyes and documentaries getting made.
I haven't understood this from the get-go. Like, so what? They're switching the channel. But anyway.
Well, I don't know if they're all staying together, though. Has that been finalized? I thought that there was some discussion that Ernie Johnson had worked something out that they all would still be together.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of to be determined a little bit.
All right.
And I think the other three guys basically said if Ernie's not going, we're not going.
All right, so we'll see. I don't know if we can do this one. Josh, for a good-smelling hardo, get some Manzardo.
Oh, no.
Hardo? Here's, I guess, an alternate NBA show that you can watch starting next season. And this might be a lot of fun. This might actually give those NBA on TNT guys a run for their money. Former Dallas Mavericks teammates Steve Nash and the German Moses, Dirk Nowitzki, will be hosting an NBA show next year.
Oh, I bet that'd be good.
On something called Amazon Prime.
Oh, that won't be good then.
That's not good?
What? What's wrong with them?
Why is that?
Oh, I just hate having to fire up so many different streaming services to find games these days, but that's a me problem.
Oh.
You've got every single one in the book.
I know, but
you'd think you'd be decent at it by now.
But it's annoying having to sign out of one to sign into the other.
Why do you have to sign out? Anyways. I mean, I'm logged into all of them.
Dana needs a manager, a television manager. Dirk Nowitzki could say, if Manzardo can make my German rosin bag smell pleasant, it can do wonders for anybody's. Brad and Randy don't seem to be on board with this.
That's one great smelling Dirk you got there.
Oh! Randy and Brad don't seem totally supportive of our Manzardo.
No.
Well, they will once we become millionaires.
That's true.
If we get some of the product, maybe that would change our mind.
Yeah, you get some free stuff.
Speaking of millionaires, the Vikings handed $23 million to that Van Ginkel dude?
Why don't you like Van Ginkel?
Van Ginkel? That's where your money's going to go, to Van Ginkel?
Is it the last name?
Is it the hair?
Jesus. Who's running things over there?
I saw him at a Wild game, and people were going nuts for him.
Oh, I bet. But was he like possibly handsome in person?
Of course.
Yeah.
He's a hockey fan kind of a guy.
Who made that call? Hey, we got $23 million sitting around. Who do you want to give it to? I don't know, Van Ginkel, I guess.
He's got all that Manzardo money running around.
That's true.
No, I just like to have fun with the name.
It is a funny name. You'd like him, I think.
You think so?
I think if you saw some, like, him on TV and stuff. What was it? Was it the Hard Knocks with? Was he on the Lions? I forgot which team he was on before the Vikings.
Texans.
Dolphins.
That's what it was. Yeah, he was great.
Van Ginkel. What a joke.
The Gink.
The Gink.
I love that, Dana.
Montego Maw, the son of Randy Maw, is going to go ahead and get a tryout for the Vikings.
All right.
You think this will be like a LeBron Bronny thing?
No, I don't think so.
Does Randy Maw have that kind of pull in town where he can pull a LeBron Bronny thing?
Probably.
You think so,
think
Josh?
so.
He's probably got some pull.
Didn't his son play at the University of Maine?
Yes.
Football? Yeah.
He would never be arrogant like that, though, like Deion Sanders has been.
Okay.
I don't think anything's ever going to top that.
I'm sorry? Deion Sanders. I forgot it. What are you saying now? I'm sorry.
Huh? Oh, I was thinking of like how, for some reason, when you said Bronny, I got confused with the Deion Sanders being a tool.
Oh.
But that too. I mean, that applies as well.
You don't think Randy Maw would be as obviously douchey about it?
I bet you're right.
About getting his son on the team.
No.
Right.
It's that Shedeur Sanders is such a polarizing situation. I mean, you look around social media still, and it is topic one, and everybody's got a different opinion about it. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's all anybody's talking about.
It's all anybody is talking about with that draft. And I'm telling you, that sideshow in Cleveland, once they start mini camps and stuff, what a mess.
People are still talking about Sanders' kid?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, they're not letting it go.
It's such a big deal.
Why?
Just because people, again, varying opinions. People think that he's been wrong, that the NFL colluded, that the owners colluded.
Oh.
There's others that think, no, he didn't deserve it. It's all over the board, and everybody's got an opinion. It's crazy.
I mean, there was a new video that popped up maybe like 2 days ago was the first time I saw it, of him sitting in the locker room with his college team. I can't think of who he played
Jackson State, yeah, not looking at him, hated him.
Yeah, they were and they were mean mugging him like he was the worst thing to ever exist in their life.
There are stories out there too that none of his Colorado teammates went to his birthday party. And,
That's kind of sad.
They took him off, and they took him off because the owner said, take him off. I don't want that guy. Shedeur Sanders just torpedoed himself. His attitude off the field at the combine, his dad didn't help him either. You know, he was on podcast talking about, this is my son. If I can get him to where I want to get him to, I'm going to do that.
It's Boomer Esiason.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Again, it's so many people have just differing opinions about it, but yeah.
Well, I'm over it. I got to be totally honest with you.
Are you over Manzardo? Because Bookshelf Jesus sent in a phony ad for it. He made a phony ad.
Oh, my gosh.
What do you mean, like audio and everything?
Not newspaper ad.
Oh, okay.
It's like, Manzardo, where comfort meets cojones.
That's pretty good. Yeah, Randy Moss's son is listed as 6'1" and 220 pounds. He also plays wide receiver. And he's going to get a tryout with the Vikings. He was the leading receiver the last 4 seasons for the Maine Black Bears football team. I didn't even know they had a football program.
I didn't either.
I thought it was just Paul Correa was the only guy that ever.
Right.
Do you even know who?
Paul
Dana,
Correa,
you ever heard
right.
of Paul Correa?
Yeah, Mighty Duck.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just Paul Correa was the only guy that went to Maine. Paul Correa and Keith Carney. Look that up. Did Keith Carney play college hockey at Maine? I don't know. I'm running out of things to say, Randy Shaver.
I can tell.
We got to get the hell out of here anyway.
It's time to go, man.
Yeah, you guys take care of yourselves while we're gone. You know, it's going to be a few days.
I'll keep an eye on Brad while you're gone.
Randy, you keep an eye on Brad. Brad, you keep an eye on Randy.
Randy's in charge.
Okay.
Randy, did you want to flex your appearance on Saturday before you get off air?
Where the hell are you going?
I'm going to be at the Aquarius open house on Saturday from 11 to 1.
What is that? Who are they?
Aquarius Home Services. They're one of your sponsors, Nick.
Oh, I didn't. You said Aquarius. I thought you said Aquarius.
No, Aquarius.
The new snowmobile brand or something. Aquarius Home Services. You're making a personal appearance Saturday.
I am Saturday, 11 to 1.
Where?
It's in their home base in Little Canada.
I'll be damned. You're making personal appearances for the radio station now?
It's my first one.
Don't screw it up.
Yeah, you're representing 93X.
Hopefully they'll still be a sponsor on Monday.
Don't show up stoned or anything.
Oh, God. I haven't done that in like 3 days.
Well, that ought to be fun. We'll talk to you guys a long time from now, all the way till Monday, so we guys have a good time.
Okay. Have a great weekend, Josh. Have fun. Take pics.
I will. Thank you very much.
Send us some pics. Send us some links. Coming up next, if you have a concern about your pet, dog, cat, kind of a thing, you can send in your questions to 651-989-9393, and our next guest will help you out best she can. Dr. Andrea Johnston from German Animal Hospital just walked in the building. We will field your questions about your pets when we return here on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes, it's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Well, there's my beautiful podcast, people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks, as always, for listening to the podcast. And, of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.
This is Woman's Work with Nicole Khalil.
I would rather have the temporary pain of discomfort than the avoidable pain of regret. There are too many of us that we're waiting for someday, and the clock is ticking.
Redefining what it means to be doing woman's work.
Make sense of this wild, chaotic, and beautiful world and your place in it. That is woman's work.
This is Woman's Work from Believe. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
It's Dr. Andrea.
Here to save you about $5,000 and answer your pet questions. It's Dr. Andrea
on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Thank you so much for listening, and please welcome our next guest. She's made a special trip today to help us out before we go on our little mini vacation. She didn't want to miss Josh's farewell show as he heads off to Massachusetts for the weekend. Dr. Andrea Johnston from German Animal Hospital in Minnetonka, 651-989-9393 if you have a question about your pet. Hello, Dr. Andrea.
Good morning. How are you?
We're very, very well. How about you?
I'm great.
You ever been to Massachusetts?
Yeah, I ran the Boston Marathon.
You did?
Sweet.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Oh, gosh. 2008?
Was it? I've heard you have to get on basically it's almost a lottery to be able to do that.
Well,
it's
based on time and your age group. So, like, if you're, like, make a certain time, you're automatically in.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, you can, like, be a donate. Like, you donate money and you run for a cause.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were a runner.
When I look at you, you don't look insane. When you talk, you don't sound insane. But yet you voluntarily ran the Boston Marathon.
I mean, when you make the time, you almost have to just do it, right?
You made it all the way.
Like the whole thing in one sitting?
Yeah.
Like on running, too. You didn't have a car or anything?
Oh, I wish I did. Halfway through.
When it was over, did you feel miserable?
Oh, yeah. I was sick for a good hour.
Just exhausted.
Well, your stomach it's a hard race.
I can't imagine.
Oh.
It is a hard race.
How much training did you do? I mean, did you train super hard or was
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, because you set a goal in mind and then you want to reach it.
Wow. I would never, ever. You'd have to have a gun to my back.
Yeah.
You'd have to have multiple weapons, I think, to the back of my head.
And you're still falling down halfway through. So just
Crying
take my
the
life.
entire way.
Just do it.
Let's talk about fake testicles for pets. Do you want to?
Yeah. I was driving down here today. I was like, we haven't hit that subject yet.
I'm kind of surprised because I've heard some passionate arguments for and against on it. There was a couple I knew where the husband and wife were on complete separate sides of this topic.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of the machismo hunting guys that, don't want their dogs to lose their goods.
Their gear.
Yeah, that was kind of the situation with my friend.
Yeah. So they, but there's medical reasons why you have to neuter them in some scenarios. In most scenarios, we like to have them neutered, and they want to put implants in.
Do the dogs know?
No.
They don't?
No.
I mean, I don't think my dogs don't seem
reason.
to miss theirs.
No.
So you
no matter how much taunting I give them, like, you used to have balls.
And you call this procedure?
Well, they're called nudicles.
Oh, the product is called nudicles.
Yes, and they come in different sizes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the skin can only stretch so much. You can't put in a, bowling ball in a Chihuahua, right?
Yeah.
But we don't do it very often, but we do get that request.
You've performed the operation?
Yes, once. I've done it once. We advise against it.
How come?
Well, it's unnecessary. It's putting your dog through something that they don't need, right?
Yeah, that's true.
It's for the owner's own.
That's very strange.
Sounds like the owner's ego.
I would never think of doing that to my dogs.
What if it made like a squeaking noise every time they sat down?
I would drive everybody crazy.
Honk, honk.
That might be kind of funny.
Yeah, maybe there's some comedy. There's some comedic possibilities here that we haven't explored yet, but that seems so strange to me. What do you care what your dog's got swinging around between its damn legs?
A friend had to have his testicle removed due to cancer, and that was one of the things the doctor brought up to him. Hey, do you want a fake testicle for us to put it back in?
Yeah.
He chose not to,
that.
but for him it was an easy answer. He's like, no, I'm good. Yeah, but.
I am glad we're finally discussing this topic as Dr. Andrea walked in off air and she said, I don't think we've ever talked about nudicles and fake testicles for pets. Cats, dogs?
Never a cat.
Okay.
No.
Are they available for cats?
I don't even know if they are.
Okay.
I think a cat would go crazy with those in.
So when you sew the nudicles onto the dog, do they stay there for life?
Yeah, well, I mean, dogs don't live, right?
Oh, I keep forgetting that. Yeah, they don't stay around that long.
Right.
And they're just prosthetic coins.
Well, so like the skin's still there, right?
Yeah.
When you neuter a dog, you don't take the scrotum.
Right.
You actually take the testicles in the scrotum.
Yeah.
So you actually just insert.
Just insert them into the bag and
sew it up.
So long, puppy. Have fun on the duck hunt.
We took your advice, though, and did it. Ablation? Is that what you called it? Where they...
Oh, yeah. Yes, because you have the big dogs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trim it up a little bit.
Scrotal ablation.
Yes.
Because that would be a very large empty sack. So in a big Great Dane.
Cause some danger.
Yeah.
I've never noticed that on my dog, on my neuter dog.
It's just, back to the nudicles, it's just so insane to me that any dog owner would look across the room at their neutered dog and say, well, I got to do something about this.
I hated our dog's testicles. I hated them. I was so glad when they were gone.
Pleasant.
No, they put them on you.
He just flaunted them.
They flaunt them and they put them on you.
Oh, fine.
They do. I mean, my dogs would hang off the couch.
Yeah.
It was a little
terrible.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
One of my dog, he still has his, because one of the reasons I heard when I was living in Wisconsin with him that he's a hunting dog.
Yeah.
So they were like, don't neuter him or else he'll lose his drive. But now they've just become a hassle, and he's he's 5 years old.
Yeah.
And so now I feel like a terrible person because I have to put him through that at 5 years old. But I'd rather do that than 5 years down the line he gets some type of issue, because aren't there certain
there's prostate
problems?
issues.
Yeah.
And then there's testicular cancer.
Oh.
I would get those taken off. Usually they say at 2 years you can neuter. Like the longer you wait, there's no benefit.
Is there any
after 2
true
years.
evidence to them actually calming down when you remove their test? No, darn it.
Well,
I was hoping for that.
I mean, they don't lose their hunting drive. I get that question all the time. They do not lose their hunting drive once they're neutered.
Mm-hmm. We were told our dog would be different. He was 3 when he had it done, and we were told, he's going to be mellowed out. There's no difference whatsoever.
No.
We haven't noticed any difference.
651-989-9393 if you have a question, and quite a few have come in already, as usual. You're very popular, Dr. Andrea. Here we go. Why is it, speaking of removing things, why is it okay to cut the tails off some dogs, but for others it's not a good idea, or so I've heard?
Yeah, so that's controversial right now in Europe. They're not recommending cutting or docking any tails now. Just like cropping ears and docking tails, they are leaving most breeds long.
Okay.
But it's like the breed standard by the AKC, so certain dogs should have their tails docked.
Uh-huh.
If I recall, like a Weimaraner, those like silver dogs, they have like a little bushiness at the end of their tail. So it's not very pleasing. So they crop the tails or dock the tails.
It doesn't look good. It looks...
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's a hunting issue too. Like
Okay.
it gets in the way, it gets burrs, all those things.
Sure.
We had a Rottweiler Shepherd mix. She came without a tail. Somebody had removed it.
Yeah.
Is
So
there
sad.
one of those? I mean, is a Rottweiler's tail removed?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I'm not sure about a Rottweiler, but we do dock. They do dock a lot of tails, like Labradors, things like that.
My brother has a dog, and it is a pit bull. And that's the first time I ever thought maybe there's a good argument for this, because when he would get very excited, his tail would get going, and it would hit cabinets and start bleeding.
Yeah.
There'd be blood all over the place.
I amputate tails a lot for that, because it's called happy tail, where they just get so happy they whack it against things, and it will never heal. So you just amputate a portion of the tail.
Oh.
But that's a medical reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. What? Boy, I had to write these down so quickly. What causes a dog to cough? And this listener wrote in parentheses, it's bad, isn't it? Is it always bad when a dog has a cough?
Not
Okay.
necessarily.
They were fearing the worst, it sounds like here.
I mean, if it's a small, older breed dog, small breed, older dog, they can have tracheal collapse. So if they stand up, or if you pull too hard on the leash, or they get excited, their trachea will collapse, and then they'll cough. It's not always a bad thing.
Okay. They didn't specify what type of dog they have,
Yeah.
but I always heard that too many years ago, that if your pet had a cough, like, oh God, that's bad. But I'm glad to hear that it's not always bad.
Not always bad.
Okay, good.
This person has a 12-year-old dog named Frank who has a sprained ACL. He said he or she says it's hard to see him struggle every day to get up off the ground. I was wondering if surgery is still an option even though he's 12.
Yeah. I mean, if he's still moving around and not arthritic, we just did a 14-year-old lab, 6 months ago or so, where we repaired the ACL, and that dog went back to hunting. It kind of depends on how the dog overall is doing at that age. But yeah. After 12 weeks of recovery, they go back to normal activity.
They're great athletes.
Yes.
They're great
Sporting
athletes.
dogs.
Sometimes even post-surgery, they can remain at the top of their game.
Totally.
Yeah. Here's a listener with a cat, a 5-year-old calico, if that means anything to you, with a very gravelly purr. They're concerned about this cat's gravelly.
Has it been smoking?
Yeah.
I think
Does
we've
that
talked
say
about
anything?
this before.
Oh, did we?
There could be like a polyp in there. They can
Mhm.
get nasopharyngeal polyps. So I'd look in that cat's ears, especially if it's a male cat. Otherwise, they can get asthma. We talked about asthma, right? So that could be also. And they can also get upper respiratory infections, like
Just-
herpes virus, things like that.
Oh, God, the herpes. So they just sound like a truck driver snoring in the back of their rig. Just
If that cat has asthma, I know somebody that really wants it.
Somebody wants an asthmatic cat?
Nick
Oh,
does.
that's right. That's right. When we talked about last time, you said you wanted an asthmatic
You wanted a fat asthmatic.
Yeah, with the little mask on his face?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I want him out of breath all day long. Just so I can put that little mask on or shoot him up with the stuff up his nose. Yeah.
On the topic of cats, somebody wants to know, when is it time to put a cat down? They have a 15-year-old who can't see or hear very well.
Yeah, so I have this discussion a lot. It's all based on quality of life. So their quality of life is different than ours. So I tell people to list like 5 things they know their dog or cat likes to do. And if 2 or 3 fall off the list, then it's time. You don't want all those things to fall off the list.
That sounds fair enough. I like the way you put that.
Yeah.
5 things that they like to do. If 2 or 3 are off that list now,
Yeah.
maybe it's time.
Yeah.
It's difficult for everybody to
Yeah.
go through such a thing.
It's Dr. Andrea
on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
We got to get her done and then get gone. But we do have time for a few more questions. For our guest, Dr. Andrea Johnston from German Animal Hospital in Minnetonka. Pet health questions. Before we get to our next listener with a question, here is a text that came in that said, a few weeks ago, we brought our kitty into German Animal Hospital to see Dr. Andrea. The kitty was vomiting and not eating and losing weight and just not doing well. They took care of him, and right now we are all outside together, letting all the squirrels and birds in the neighborhood know that he is back.
With a vengeance.
So please say thank you so much to Dr. Andrea and her team.
Oh, thanks.
They're the real
Appreciate
deal.
it.
Very, very nice.
This person says, we have to hide the water bowl from my dog because the dog will not stop drinking. He's 12. Help. He has to go outside constantly.
Ooh, I'd get him checked out for kidney disease, diabetes, Cushing's disease. There's a handful of things that cause those symptoms. There is something called psychogenic polydipsia, where they literally their brain just tells them they want more water. But I think there's probably something else going on at 12 years of age. I'd worry about that.
This isn't so much of a question, but something I noticed this morning when scrolling through the text messages. 2 separate listeners have texted in to let us know that, Ashley, you're going to remember this for the rest of your life, I think.
Oh, boy.
No, don't be worried. 2 of our listeners, before they put their dogs to bed at night, they put them in little dog jammies.
Should I get jammies for my dog?
Yeah, you should.
They pull some jammies on, and then, now it's bedtime. You got your jammies on.
That is the sweetest
I mean,
thing. I'm
you
looking
guys
them up
wouldn't
right
see
now.
the fashion coats I see dogs come in. In the winter.
Is there a
got
certain
style.
is there a certain breed that you think shouldn't wear clothes?
Well, probably.
To be honest, none of them need to wear clothes.
Yes. They are designed to not need clothing. But probably the little real short-haired little dachshunds.
Yeah, I was going to say dachshunds I see wear jackets.
Or little short-haired chihuahuas. They look cold all the
they're
time.
always shaking.
But 2 of our listeners dress their dogs up in what they call jammies.
I'm looking them up right now.
Here's something.
That's adorable.
It is, isn't it? Here's something that Dr. Andrea or maybe Josh could help this listener out with. One listener just says, I want to get a dog, but I want to get the biggest, laziest dog on record. So, as a professional, what's the biggest, laziest dog available?
Oh man, you'd probably have to do like a Newfoundland or what's the other one?
The
What's the one in
Burmese?
Turner and Hooch? Like a Beethoven.
Oh,
or,
I don't know.
love those dogs.
St. Bernard.
St. Bernard.
Yeah,
Oh, they're
pretty
lazy, huh?
I thought Josh would jump in and say Great Dane.
Oh, yeah, I was letting the expert speak first.
I don't know how lazy they are, though.
Oh, very lazy.
At least the ones in your home.
Yeah, everyone we've had they get tired out pretty quick, just like Dad. And they don't like to walk too much, just like Dad. They get a little bit of energy every day, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So, the St. Bernard, they'll just lay on their side for days.
But the problem is they lay on their side and they have all that fur. So then they get like hot spots and skin infections. And that's why I think a Great Dane is probably a good option because they're lean and they don't have a ton of hair.
Yeah. No jammies on the St. Bernard, for Christ's sake.
No.
His body temperature will skyrocket.
You picked him up, you dropped him. Jesus recommends a Cane Corso.
Oh, they're awesome.
I love the look of those dogs.
They're beautiful dogs.
I would not mess with a house who had a Cane Corso.
They're pretty
They
dogs.
look very tough.
They're really not, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they can be really good dogs.
Well, people get scared of our Danes all the time.
Yeah,
and they don't it's like there's a reason Scooby-Doo is such a chicken. Great Danes are chickens.
Well, yeah, because they have no business being that big. They're so tall.
Who do you think you are? One of our listeners, Dr. Andre, has a 20-year-old cat with bad teeth, but they're worried about a procedure that involves anesthesia.
Yeah.
That is kind of risky when
It is.
when a pet gets that old.
Yeah, I mean, we don't look at age as the disease when it comes to anesthesia. As long as everything else systemically is functioning okay, no heart issues, lab works normal. Honestly, that cat's probably in quite a bit of pain that I would address the teeth.
Okay, yeah.
If it's still somewhat healthy.
Okay, they're a little worried about it, but
yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Sure. Another cat-related question would be, in your professional opinion, Dr. Andrea, what's the max amount of cats I can have living in my house before I am officially a crazy cat lady?
Is that one of those questions where you have to ask? You're probably already at that
Check
limit.
with your city. Check with your city.
I'm going to say 4.
I would say 1.
Oh, just even 1.
One will drive you crazy enough.
Boy. Yeah, my neighborhood had the crazy cat lady. There had to have been 20 of them.
Oh, yeah, we had one of those.
Oh, my God.
It's a lot.
This last question, I don't want to. Josh, do you have a question? This one's so gross. I don't want to ask it.
Oh, funny gross?
I don't even know if it's funny gross.
Ask it.
My girlfriend has 2 cats. One has a prolapsed anus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh!
Just the term prolapsed anus. Not that it really
We
is
see
happening.
it a lot.
You do?
Yeah.
The kitty is going on the floor once a week, leaving skid marks around.
Yeah. You got to get that fixed.
What the hell happened there?
What do you use, like a plunger, or how do you fix something like that?
Well, you got to go in and tack it down.
You got to put it back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to put it in and then tack it down.
Yeah, I don't want to suggest, by the way, that I think it's funny that happened to a person or an animal, but just prolapsed anus for whatever reason, that's hilarious.
I'll send you some links.
No, I have
I
a
will.
friend that did that,
I'll
and
send you
we're
some
still
links.
not cool.
We got to go, Dr. Andrea, but thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice vacation.
Josh is off to Massachusetts.
Any advice?
Good luck in the Boston Marathon.
Band-Aids over your nipples, Josh.
That's what they say.
If you run in the Boston
And a diaper.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors about what can happen there, too.
Thanks very much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Andrea. You bet.
Thank you. Happy 53rd to Blacktop Mojo Mofo, and happy birthday to his grandson, Breakin' Ben, turning the big 01 on Saturday. Happy 54th to Hot Oven Lovin' Cheeses from her husband, Slapnuts Jesus. Happy birthday to Make You Late for Work Jesus. Happy 13th to the beautiful Addie Joe from Dad. Happy birthday to the Smokin' Hot Courtney from your boyfriend. Happy birthday to the lovely Lost in the Roundabout Jesus from Ghost Town Jesus. Today is our Friday, so have a super great weekend. We are going to miss you. And if you feel like hanging out with us again, we'll be back on Monday.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
You gotta be kidding me. Who greenlit this garbage?
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Well, there's my beautiful podcast, people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks, as always, for listening to the podcast. And, of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.